structure of internal depth that a lot of teams don't have. I think Kyle Dubas is doing a lot of the same stuff, just under his own vision, but a lot of the same stuff with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
And I think it's really important because with the tremendous success that these teams have had for so long, it isn't going to last forever. And you've got to be ready for that day when it comes. Thankfully, it's not coming for Sid just yet, but it certainly does feel as though we may be watching the last matchup between Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin today in Washington. Thanks for your time, Pierre. We appreciate it. We're going to hear from Dan Muse next, and we'll talk to you before the last game when the Penguins are in St. Louis on Tuesday night.
Can't wait, Paul. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the game, everybody, and have a great Sunday afternoon of watching hockey and the Masters.
Oh, yeah. That's Pierre McGuire. We'll be back with Dan Muse in a moment on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Listen to the Masters exclusively on Sirius XM.
On his way to the hole, and he's got it. He's taking the lead in the Masters.
Hear every incredible shot and all the dramatic moments as the best golfers in the world try to win the coveted green jacket.
He's got good speed. Break ball right in the center of the hole. What a putt.
Live coverage of the Masters continues right now on Masters Radio, Channel 92 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Real Madrid do what they do best. A five-star show from Manchester City.
What a start for Inter.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
We deliver the NHL.
With Brandon Busty of the Carolina Hurricanes, did it ever cross your mind saying like, hey, it's going to be a tough journey to the NHL? And, your mentality was, you know what, I'm just going to trust the process.
In hockey, opportunity comes in very different ways and at different times. My opportunity came now. The team in front of me has been unbelievable. They're the main reason for my success. It's fun to be a part of.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now it's time for Muse's Musings.
Here's Dan Muse, and you can imagine as a rookie coach, he also is a little starry-eyed at times looking out there at these great legends.
Just the amount of respect everybody, throughout the league has for what he's done in this game, what he's done for this game, and what he's been doing for, how he's been doing it for such a long time. It's incredible. Like, not once, and I could go through a number of other players. Do I take that for granted? I hope nobody else does. That when you see, guys like, Sid and him, when they're playing against each other and going head to head, it's you think back for how long they've been doing it for, and it's nothing short of incredible.
49. 2 minutes with the old 2-9ers coming up. He's going to be talking to Shane Knighty, who's doing the game for television on the network side, and that's coming up after this on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Take a break and come out with us tonight.
Not tonight, man.
Come on. You deserve a night out. You're going to miss out.
Miss out on what?
While you stayed home, they won big. They celebrated. They got the suite, stayed up all night, and made memories. And you weren't there. Some nights are too good to sit out. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
The Steel City knows a thing or two about winners. When it comes to environmental services, WM has been winning for over 50 years. We have over 45,000 MVPs on our roster across North America, from truck drivers to sales professionals and everything in between. And right now, we're looking for Pittsburgh area professionals to join our winning team because doing what's right for our planet is vital work, best tackled together. We offer competitive pay, great benefits, and tons of other perks. Start your new career by visiting careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
The Penguins have officially clinched a spot in the playoffs. Are you ready to flip the script? Our first ever Penguins playoff sweepstakes is live and gives you the chance to win. The grand prize includes 2 tickets to the first home playoff game, plus a Brian Rust autographed Penguins jersey. We're also drawing one more winner who will take home a Brian Rust autographed Penguins puck. Don't wait. This charitable sweepstakes benefiting the Penguins Foundation is only open until April 14th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. To enter for your chance to join us in the playoffs, visit penguinssweepstakes.com. Let's go, Pens.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Phil Bork. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. Together with the Penguins, PPG increases access to free STEM education through the annual Science at Play and Sticks and STEM events at PPG Paints Arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
This is the Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey Network. This copyrighted broadcast is the property of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of all or part of this broadcast, or any descriptions or accounts of this game therein without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Penguins is strictly prohibited.
Captain of the Montreal Canadiens, Nick Suzuki, and we're joined with Sidney Crosby. Boko Mama. Panthers forward, Brad Marchand, joined now by Jackie Redmond.
Time for 2 minutes with the old 2-Niner. Brought to you by your Pittsburgh area Lexus dealers. Experience amazing.
Welcome to Miss Old 2-Niner Pens and Caps this afternoon. We're joined now by longtime NHL defenseman. He's a color man for the Vegas Golden Knights, but today he's working for TNT as a color man. Shane, the Sheriff Knighty. Shane, you played a long time in the National Hockey League, defenseman. Latter part of your career, you played against Alexander Ovechkin. Just kind of give me your thoughts when you were on the ice against him, and what maybe worked for you and what didn't work when you played against Ovi.
Well, it's interesting, and I always think of both Sid and Ovi together because I was in the Southeast Division with the Atlanta Thrashers when both those guys came in the league. But yeah, Ovi was just, you know what I love about these two guys is their generational talents. We'll never see anything like this again. Two guys growing up in the same division, 21 years, the best at the best of what they do, but completely different ways of going about it. Ovi was such a physical force. I'd never seen anybody have such joy to score goals. Like he was driven to score, and that's why he's the greatest goal scorer of all time. But I just remember the physicality element to his game and the style, the just freewheeling, the love of the game that he had at a young age, and just driven to score goals, but also could back it up. If you're going back for a puck, you don't have to worry about it. He would try and run you through the wall, and that's what kind of uniquely made him special, and his durability to play that style for so many years. Just a special human, and glad that we've had him in our great game for so long.
We didn't get it yesterday in Pittsburgh. It looks like we are going to get it today, Sid versus Ovi. And I'm sure you're going to take some mental snapshots because there's a lot of people thinking this could be not only his last home game, but his last game of his career. Can you remember, Shane, the last time there's been two players that have been so polarizing, that have played so long in the same division, and there's that healthy hatred that we all love, right?
No, I can't. And not only in this sport, any sport. I think that's a question to put out there. Has there been anything like this? So, yeah, I'm very fortunate that I got the call on this game because I am excited about it. We still don't know if Alexander Ovechkin's going to play another year or not, but if he doesn't, and this is the last meeting between these two guys, the matchups they have had for so many years, the longevity to their careers, first ballot Hall of Famers, trophy cases filled on both sides, all the accolades that are deserved for both these players, Crosby and Ovechkin, and it's hard to say one without the other. And you've been here. I've watched from afar. I've seen it up close on the ice, but you've watched this rivalry for so many years, and yeah, we've never seen anything like it. And it's hard to know if we will again because two guys coming at the same time, same division, the careers they've had, generational talents. It's so unique. So this is a special day here today that I think people watching the game, us involved here in this building, it's one of those ones, just enjoy and take it all in.
Jeff, thanks for this. All the best. Have a great call with Berkey and Panger.
I will do. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Shane Knighty, and you're 2 minutes with the old two-nighter. Enjoy the hockey.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, because life. Now it is time for the Highmark Injury Update.
Well, I got to tell you, that was a really good job by Shane Knighty there, because all the things we've talked about and said, he still had some new things to offer there. It was really good. Great job by Borky and Shane Knighty. These are the guys out for the Penguins: Nola Chari, Anthony Mantha, Ryan Shea, Connor Clifton, Ben Kindle. Connor Dewar is week to week. Not sure about his status. You know, all that talk about, what are the Penguins going to do when Blake Lizotte comes back in? Well, if Connor Dewar really is week to week, theoretically, he might not be able to go when the playoffs open, but hopefully Blake Lizotte will be back. We'll see. And Philip Hollander also on the shelf for the Penguins, and Blake Lizotte, of course, is also injured for the Capitals. 2 guys got hurt yesterday in that game, which worries me. Just keep your fingers crossed for these last couple of games for the Penguins. Pierre-Luc Dubois and Rasmus Sandin were both injured, and Charlie Lindgren, their backup goalie, is on the shelf. The Powerball jackpot is now $45 million. Next drawing is Monday night. You must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. You can play at your local retailer or online, and the PA Lottery benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Joe Brand and the old two-nighter have the call for you. An historic game today in Washington. The Penguins, Sid, Ovi, and the Caps on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It takes all of us to take action and bring awareness to create a better community and environment. Penguins Pledge brings together key Penguins business partners with a common goal to create a more environmentally conscious community. Together with our Pledge Impact partners, Davey Tree, Exelitas, Duquesne Light Company, Kimberly Clark, and WM, Penguins Pledge is a commitment to a better and more sustainable Pittsburgh. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Seguin lost it to Scheifele. Scheifele with 2-on-1. Scheifele scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Since FNB has been the official bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins, we've realized our teams aren't that different. We both have great checking, at home and on the road. With FNB's league-leading banking app, you get access to a deep lineup of checking accounts. And we both know the importance of big saves, like saving you time with our eStore Common app. One application for all your goals. Can your bank do that? Find out at fnb-online.com/eStore. FNB, member FDIC.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
Crosby centering past Malkin, trying to get a couple jabs at it. Crosby backhanded pass, left score from Sidney Crosby.
Oh, get in the fast lane, Grandma. The bingo game is ready to roll.
The Pittsburgh Penguins Radio Network proudly presents Penguins Hockey. The Penguins Radio Network is presented by S&T Bank and brought to you in part by Number 1 Cochrane, Go One Better, by IC Light, by McDonald's, providing you the official burger of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Get Go Cafe and Market, Get Go, where the Pens go, by Coca-Cola, founding partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Clearview Federal Credit Union, helping people enjoy a better life, and by Indra Energy, an official Penguins Pledge champion partner. Penguins Hockey on the Radio begins now.
Well, today it's probably one of those matchups that has the hockey gods smiling, because Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins visit Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals for what could be the final time ever. And yet it could also be repeated next week in a playoff scenario. All that's guaranteed is the next 60 minutes. And inside those 60 minutes, the Big Three could officially end the Great Eight's Hall of Fame career. Welcome in, Penguins fans, and welcome to Capital One Arena. For the first time this year here in our nation's capital, alongside the old 2-9er Phil Bourque, I'm Joe Brand. We've got a dandy of a hockey game for you here today. Borky, the Pittsburgh Penguins are playoff bound, but this game holds so much weight to it. And if you're the Penguins, it's an opportunity to take all of the energy built into this one and use it for a dress rehearsal for the postseason.
Amen, brother. Good to be with you, Joe. And yeah, this should be a dandy here this afternoon from our nation's capital. And you're right. I asked Dan Muse this question, and I didn't quite get the answer. Maybe I didn't ask it good enough. You know, just about the opportunity to not only, it wasn't so much about Ovi. The question I was asking about ending the Washington Capitals season. This, if you're going to get all the way to the top of the mountain, you're going to have to do it today, and then you're going to have to do it 4 more times. You can't do it in St. Louis. They've already been eliminated. So just to have that killer instinct is where, that's the path. I was throwing those breadcrumbs down for Dan because I wanted to see if he would bite and talk about having that ability to end somebody's season, end their dreams, and all the things that they've worked so hard for, to have that killer instinct that you're going to need here this afternoon. Now, the byproduct of that would be possibly ending the career of Alexander Ovechkin in front of his great home fans here in Washington. So, yeah, there's a lot that we're going to be talking about this afternoon, but the number one thing for me is the Penguins to take care of their business. They got a lot of their big boys back into the lineup, and yeah, to have that kind of playoff mentality. Let's go. Let's start having that kind of killer instinct and having that fire in your belly that you're going to need come playoff time.
Let's talk about you for a minute. This could be the final time you see Alexander Ovechkin out on the ice. You've covered pretty much his entire career. You've seen him at his best, and you've seen the Penguins hand him some of the worst moments of his career. How do you digest the career of a Hall of Famer and the sport's greatest goal scorer?
If this is the last game that he ever plays in the National Hockey League, I'm going to miss him. I am. I'm going to miss him because I hate him. But I use the word hate, and we tell our kids not to use that word, right? But in the context of sports, it's healthy. We need it. We need a bad cop. We need a guy to wear that black hat. And Ovi wore it unapologetically. And as well as being the bad cop, greatest goal scorer in the history of the National Hockey League. So I'm going to miss what he has brought out of Sidney Crosby. I'm going to miss what he's brought out in me, you know, because there's no other rivalry like this. Sid and Ovi. Can you name another one, Joe?
Nope.
No, we try to manufacture, we try to say, oh, this guy and this guy, but it's not like this. This is so unique and so special that I'm going to be sad when it ends.
Less hate in the world, more hate in sports. I can get behind that. How fitting is it that it's these two teams? These two teams, this moment, right now. I know the league and probably both teams play a role in the schedule making, and you know that something's at stake towards the end of this year, but still, this could be a very significant game for Alex Ovechkin, for the Washington Capitals, and they're taking on the team that matched up against them in the playoffs so many times, and you've brought it up. Both teams' path to the Stanley Cup, their only Stanley Cups in franchise histories, have always gone through the other team.
And that's really when it gets to the next level, right? You got to have those kind of playoff moments. You know, for the Penguins, for us in 92 to be down 3-1 to the Caps, boom, boom, boom. 3 punches in the nose. We didn't lose another game. in those Stanley Cup playoffs after we came back against the Washington Capitals. The dueling hat tricks that these two had in this building years ago. And then, of course, the Kuznetsov overtime winner in 2018, which allowed the Washington Capitals to slay the Dragon, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and them to go on to their only Stanley Cup. So yeah, there's just so many storylines back and forth. And Tom Wilson involved in all this, another black hat. So there's just been so much back and forth. You know, we've had Penguins go to the Caps, Caps go to the Penguins, and now they're saluting Alexander Ovechkin here at the Capital One Arena as he stands on the blue line, kind of separate from all his teammates, interestingly enough. And as we get to the national anthem, I don't know if there's ever going to be another kind of tradition that these two have of getting to the promised land through each other.
Quite a moment here at Capital One Arena right before our national anthem. Why would you go anywhere else other than the Penguins Radio Network? It's presented by S&T Bank. Puck Drop is next.
Ford F-Series are the best-selling trucks in Pittsburgh for 11 years running. So it's no wonder that Pittsburgh's favorite hockey team choose Ford as their go-to vehicles. Yep, that's right. Your favorite team meets our favorite team. That's a stacked roster if you ask us. Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Only from your neighborhood Ford store.
The Penguins have officially clinched a spot in the playoffs. Are you ready to flip the script? Our first ever Penguins playoff sweepstakes is live and gives you the chance to win. The grand prize includes 2 tickets to the first home playoff game, plus a Brian Rust autographed Penguins jersey. We're also drawing one more winner who will take home a Brian Rust autographed Penguins puck. Don't wait. This charitable sweepstakes benefiting the Penguins Foundation is only open until April 14th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. To enter for your chance to join us in the playoffs, visit penguinssweepstakes.com. Let's go, Pens.
In Pittsburgh, champions aren't just born, they're built. And NSS Life has been part of that winning legacy for decades.
We've stood with the city's champions on and off the field,
building futures that are strong, secure, and built to last.
NSS Life is proud to be part of Pittsburgh's past and your future.
NSS Life, the official life insurance company of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
NSS Life, where family matters.
We are all set for hockey here in our nation's capital as the Pittsburgh Penguins wrap up the season series against the Washington Capitals and possibly the career of Alex Ovechkin. How's it going, Penguins fans? Alongside the old 2-9er Phil Bourque, I'm Joe Brand, and we are just thrilled to have you here with us today as the Pittsburgh Penguins in their penultimate game of the season before heading to the postseason for the first time in 4 years are trying to end the season for the Washington Capitals. Their playoff hopes are on life support. They need to win out. They need the Philadelphia Flyers to lose out. And who knows, this could possibly be Alexander Ovechkin's final home game. It could be his final game. The Big Three might have a say in it. And speaking of the Big Three, they were all out on the ice for the opening faceoff and the opening national anthem here today, as Sidney Crosby will take the opening draw against Dylan Strome. This opening faceoff is brought to you by #1 Cochrane Club One Rewards. Earn points and save money with every dollar spent on service. Strome leaves center ice. Alexander Ovechkin will take over. It's Sidney Crosby against Alex Ovechkin, and Crosby wins the opening draw.
How about that? Dylan Strome got himself tossed to get out of the draw so Ovi could take it versus Sid.
Penguins are in the Capital zone. Chinakhov fires a shot and a save by Logan Thompson. As the Capitals wheel it out of their zone, Alexander Ovechkin near side of the neutral zone, whiffed on a dump-in as he was defended by his buddy Evgeny Malkin right behind him. Capitals will reset in their own zone. Penguins are attacking from left to right in their road white sweaters. The Washington Capitals in their home reds attacking from right to left. Stuart Skinner in net for the Penguins. Logan Thompson in net for the Washington Capitals. Our starting lineups are presented by Clearview Federal Credit Union. Financial advice is closer than you think.
Icing here against the Washington Capitals, so the faceoff will come to the right of Logan Thompson, and Ovechkin will have to stay on the ice here in the defensive zone.
Dylan Strome does win this draw against Tommy Novak, but the Penguins keep the puck alive at the far boards. until it's taken by Strome, who works it over on the near side. Ricard Raquel got it to Carlson. He'll get it down to Raquel on the doorstep, centering pass. He was looking for Novak, couldn't connect. Capitals steal the puck away and chuck it out to the neutral zone. So Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Brian Rust, Erik Karlsson, Parker Wotherspoon, all back in the lineup for the Penguins today. After not being available yesterday, Ben Kindle does sit in consecutive days. Also, the Penguins without Anthony Mantha today, Nola Chari, Ryan Shea, and Connor Clifton. Penguins are back in the Capital zone. It's Brian Rust, far corner. Up top to St. Ivany. High slot wrister, and downstairs Tommy Novak with a sweeping try on Logan Thompson. He stops that. The Penguins have put a lot of pressure on the Washington goaltender already. Just a little over a minute gone in this game. No score.
I think that was 2 saves by Thompson. I think that Tommy Novak got the very tip of his stick on the shot pass from Jack St. Ivany, and the rebound came right back to Novak. His second attempt, he tried to get a lot on, get it off the stick quick. Didn't get much on that one, and it dribbled into the right glove hand of Logan Thompson.
Kevin Hayes, who's back in the lineup on consecutive days after scoring yesterday. Unable to win the faceoff, but Ville Koivunen steals the puck away in the neutral zone. Got it to Justin Brazeau, who flings it down to the Capitals' end. Thompson stopping it behind his net. Washington pins it along the near boards, but the Penguins take it. Hayes swings it over to Solovyov. Far point, downstairs, and a pad save, maybe a blocker save by Thompson. Washington works it out to the neutral zone. Ilya Protas, who picked up his first NHL goal yesterday in Pittsburgh, gets taken down by Jack St. Ivany after dumping it down to the Penguins' end. Solovyov able to get the puck first, got it to St. Ivany. He gets crunched into the boards hard by Miroshnichenko. Out to the neutral zone, the puck goes. Sortiv takes it for Washington. We've got no score with over 2 minutes gone in this game. Penguins with the only 2 shots on goal so far. Spun along the far boards in the Penguins' end. It's taken by Sam Girard. He'll pitch it back to St. Ivany. Fluttered off the near wall. It goes tumbling to the neutral zone. Elmer Soderblom takes it over the Capitals line and chips it down to the near corner. Played off the boards by Matt Roy. Flips it over to Brandon Duhaime, far side. He'll take it up ice, dump it down to the Penguins' end. McGroarty races it down to the corner, chips it up the wall for Sam Girard. He tries to keep it away from Duhaime. He got it to Joona Koppanen, who took a hard check from Ovechkin right in front of the Penguins' bench. Penguins up ice the other way as Koppanen flips it back to Chris Letang, and the Capitals fans chanting Ovi once again. So many number 8s scattered throughout the stands here from our vantage point here at Capital One Arena as the Penguins ice it down. We've got no score, 3 minutes gone in this game.
Well, I like the way the Penguins have come out. We got some of the big boys back into the lineup, and they've got the ice tilted in their favor. They're giving the Penguins 1 shot on goal. I don't know if I agree with that, Joe, but we'll see if that changes. It usually does. But the Penguins brought their skating shoes here this afternoon.
Physical game already, too. The faceoff will come to the right of Stuart Skinner. Sidney Crosby against Connor McMichael. For Sidney Crosby, this is his 77th career game in the regular season against the Caps as Pierre-Luc Dubois rips a wrister wide of the net, but it got deflected, bounced off the shelf and out of play. Exactly 3 minutes gone in this game, no score.
And for Sid, this is also game number 1600, his 1600th career game when you add his regular season and his playoff games. And if you're curious, does he have a point per game average in the playoffs? Well, yeah, he does. He's got 201 points in 180 playoff games. Now Sid gets waived.
Not because Brian Rust wanted to take the face off. He got
against Connor McMichael? No, I don't think there's any kind of history there between McMichael and Rust that we know of.
He got shooed out of there. But Brian Rust back in the lineup today, and the Penguins do control. Erik Karlsson tries to work it up the boards, but Pierre-Luc Dubois stopped it at the wall. Played at the point, shot from Chychrun, deflected, and it sails out of play up into the netting. 3 minutes and 10 seconds gone in this game. We've got no score.
We did not think that Pierre-Luc Dubois was going to play in this game. He had a violent collision in the second period of yesterday afternoon game where he bumped into Anthony Mantha and then lost his footing and then was free falling into the end boards, got his hands up at the last second, and from what we understand was seen with a bit of a brace on his hand after the game, but looks like he's good to go in this one.
Rasmus Sandin not available in this game as he connected with Justin Brazeau in yesterday's game as well. He left. A much uglier scene there as Crosby and Pierre-Luc Dubois throwing some jabs at each other.
How about stick swinging between the two of them?
Connor McMichael with a little tap on Sid, too, who's still jawing at the Capitals bench from his own. No score, almost 4 minutes gone in this game. Washington works it out of their zone. Solovyov chases it down in his own end. Washington Capitals 3 points behind the Philadelphia Flyers for a playoff spot. Here's Malkin with a shot fired, shoulder save, second attempt by Raquel, denied by Thompson. Washington works it out to the neutral zone. It tumbles to Ilya Solovyov's feet. He quickly got it ahead to Novak, but it missed all the way down to the Capital zone. It goes, and that'll be icing. Over 4 minutes gone in this game. Little extra juice from the Penguins just there, but a couple of big stops by Logan Thompson once again.
And partner, we didn't really talk about what do you think the mentality is for the Washington Capitals? I mean, obviously they're on life support. They have about a 10% chance to make the playoffs. And they have to win out, obviously, and they need some help. And knowing that this might be Alexander Ovechkin's not only last home game, but last game in his incredible career, there's probably a lot of emotions, mixed emotions, if you will, going on in that locker room. But they look like they went through so much last year with him chasing Wayne Gretzky that I think they're a little bit leather tough when it comes to that.
Tom Wilson lays a hard hit into Jack St. Ivany. He's been batted around in this first period already, but the Penguins back in the Capital zone, and Wilson finds Malkin as St. Ivany ripped a wrister that Thompson kept out. Shoulder to shoulder, Malkin and Wilson. Now St. Ivany near point, D to Solovyov at the far side. Shuffles with the puck, sends it wide of the net, bangs off the end boards and comes to the near corner. Tommy Novak tries to keep it alive as he fights for it along the boards. Now Raquel trying to escape the puck out. He'll rim it around to the far side for Solovyov. Kept it alive at the far point. Down to the corner for Raquel. They fight for the puck in behind Washington's net again. As it's kicked along the far boards, Brandon Duhaime will chip it out to the neutral zone, but Solovyov's got it. Over 5 minutes gone in this game. The Penguins have the only 4 shots on goal. Brazeau over to Koivunen. Had to play it off the far wall. Up to Girard at the point. Now to Letang. High slot. Wrister deflected and a bad save from Logan Thompson. Duhaime at the near half wall. Kicks it out to the neutral zone. Tumbles down into the Penguins end. Beauvillier hunting after the puck against Sam Girard, but he wheels in behind Skinner's net, takes it up the near side, and now shovels it to Koivunen on the far side. He'll fork it down to the Capital zone, near corner. Brazeau works it in behind the net. Kevin Hayes now below the goal line. It's taken away by Dylan Strome, worked up the near side. Anthony Beauvillier, the former Penn, will chip it down to the Penguins end near corner. Girard once again pitches it along the wall to keep it away from Beauvillier. And a hard check from Ovechkin on Chris Letang. Chychrun's got the puck, far circle. It's Van Riemsdyk. His centering pass is batted out by Ville Koivunen, and out to the neutral zone it goes. And the Ovi chants come ringing once again after a thunderous hit on Chris Letang in the Penguin zone. We've got no score. Over 6 minutes gone in this first. The Penguins have the only 4 shots on goal still. As Ryan Leonard, who had 2 goals yesterday in Pittsburgh, lost the puck in the Penguins' end. Wotherspoon got it, but then coughed it up to McMichael. Pierre-Luc Dubois' shot goes well wide of the net. Near corner, McMichael tries to work it up the boards as he gets pinned along the wall by Justin Brazeau. That's Joona Koppanen. 3 Penguins and 2 Capitals digging after the puck in the near corner in the Penguins' end. It's dragged out by Koppanen. He's able to get it to Soderblom as Rucker McGroarty will chip it along to the neutral zone but can't win the race to the loose puck against Chychrun. Capitals take it the other way. Pierre-Luc Dubois, far side over the Penguins line. Got tied up by Koppanen, who kicked the puck down to the corner. Soderblom will chase it down and try to work around a big attempted hit by Pierre-Luc Dubois. Now it's found to Carlson, to Soderblom, over the Capitals line, near side. Tried to sift through Jacob Chychrun, but couldn't. He'll take it the other way for the Caps. Wilson slings it down to the Penguins' end near corner. Solovyov in behind Skinner's net. Pitched it over to St. Ivany. Tried to work it up the wall. Capitals, though, coughed it up. Quick shot on net. Never found its way through as Solovyov's skate got in the way. Now a shot from the near half wall, and Skinner fights that off with a shoulder save. First shot on goal for the Capitals in this one. No score with over 7.5 minutes gone. Penguins out shooting Washington 4-1. Solovyov with a stretch pass ahead to Sidney Crosby. Sent it rink wide. It went off the skate of one of the Caps. Tumbled over to the far boards. Solovyov will sweep it over to Jack St. Ivany. Now to Rust, who pitches it down to the Capitals' end far corner. Short hops off the far wall as Chinikov gets to it. Tried to squeak it up to Crosby. As now the puck in the corner, pitched out by Washington. It goes tumbling to the neutral zone. Sam Girard fetches it once again. Stops on a dime in behind Skinner's net. Plays it up to Crosby, near side of the Capital zone. Flipped up to the neutral zone. Sordiff took it away. Got it to Miroshnichenko. He gets tripped down to the ice. Nothing called. Capitals fans want a tripping call on Brian Rust. Washington back in the Penguin zone. It's Sordiff in the high slot to the far circle. Wrister saved by Skinner. Loose puck far side, and the attempt goes wide. Beauvillier's got the puck. He'll circle it around the near side. Turnaround shot, pinballed off of Malkin, went to the far corner. Quick tough angle shot from the far side from Roy. Gets kicked out by the Penguins as it slowly rolls into the Capital zone.
Not for you, Joe, obviously, but everybody else, this is no friendly game. This is no swan song for Ovechkin. The Caps have come to play. Both Ovechkin and Wilson, a couple of big hits. Now a couple of big saves by Stuart Skinner.
Capitals back in the Penguin zone. Spun around the boards to the near half wall. Malkin tried to escape it out. Dylan Strome kicked it away. Now a diving Ricard Raquel can't get to the puck. Trevor Van Riemsdyk finds Dylan Strome. Far point. Rink wide to Chychrun. Near circle. Cutting towards the corner. Wrap around try. Never got a clean shot off. Still has the puck though. Far circle to the high slot. Brings it to the near side. Stops above the near circle. At the point. Shoveled it over to Van Riemsdyk. Far side. And a pad save by Skinner. Rebound to the near half wall.
That was deflected by Ovechkin. Incredible. Lightning quick. Right pad save by Stuart Skinner to keep it 0-0.
Icing by the Penguins. We've got 10.5 to play in the first. No score in this hockey game, but what a rhythm to it.
Well, unleashing AI takes brain power and real power. From right here in Pittsburgh, EQT fuels the innovation, driving the next big play. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
It's the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque. I'm Joe Brand. We're here in our nation's capital. An ultimate game for the Penguins and the Washington Capitals. The Penguins will be in St. Louis on Tuesday to wrap up their regular season against the Blues. Playoffs will start on the weekend. Washington trying to make it into the postseason. They need a couple of wins and a couple of Philly losses as they will wrap up their season on Tuesday as well in Columbus. Caps win the draw in the Penguin zone. High slot, Pierre-Luc Dubois. Wrister that got blocked by Ricard Raquel. Penguins will take it the other way. Tommy Novak, far side of the neutral zone, got tied up by Connor McMichael, but then feeds it to Kevin Hayes, working his way through into the Capital zone. Washington kicks it out to the neutral zone. Ville Koivunen, far side of the Cap zone, cuts towards the crease, downstairs looking for Brazeau, but it was kicked out by Chychrun. Washington takes it the other way. Here's Chychrun with speed over the Penguins line, near side. Tried to swing a pass that didn't get through Jack St. Ivany. Fight for the puck in the near half wall. Turned over to McMichael in the slot in the circle and stripped away by Ville Koivunen and Kevin Hayes.
Good recovery there by Koivunen and Hayes after that turnover.
Under 10 to play in this first. Here's Kevin Hayes in the Capital zone. Shoveled it to Koivunen, back to Hayes. Now Brazeau couldn't handle it at the near corner. Washington takes it the other way. Pierre-Luc Dubois to Ryan Leonard over the Penguins line. Pass goes off a Penguins skate. Kevin Hayes makes a U-turn and brings the puck into the Capital zone. So Erik Karlsson slows down above the near circle. Back to Hayes at the corner. Curled around. Up to Karlsson above the circle. Drags towards the crease. Didn't have the puck with him. Had to play it off the far boards. Got it to McGroarty. He fires a quick shot. And a glove save by Thompson. It went in and out of his leather. Over to the far corner as the puck botches around the far wall. It's taken back by Koivunen. He flutters it down to Karlsson off the near wall. But the half board shoveled it down to the corner. Got taken down by Martin Feravari. And that's going to be a penalty on the Capitals. So the Penguins will get the first power play of the game. They didn't have one yesterday. And they'll look for the first goal when we come back. 9:12 to go in this first. A scoreless hockey game on the Penguins Radio Network presented by S&T Bank.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage, used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Tender Care Learning Centers, the early education professionals, has been providing quality child care and preschool education for over 40 years. To find one of our 20 convenient locations near you, visit tendercarelc.org. Tender Care Learning Centers is the child care provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
No matter the occasion, there's always a reason to celebrate with a DQ ice cream cake. Creamy DQ soft serve and the chocolatey crunch center is great at any get-together. Customize yours today at DQ.com. DQ is the official ice cream and ice cream cake of the Penguins.
Wake up to value at Get Go Cafe and Market. Mix and match your mornings with 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6. Choose 2 breakfast sandwiches stacked with egg, meat, and cheese on your choice of bagel, fluffy biscuit, or flaky croissant. Exclude steak and impossible sandwiches. Fill up with 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6 at Get Go Cafe and Market, the official convenience store of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, yesterday in Pittsburgh, the Penguins promotional team did a great job recognizing Alexander Ovechkin in possibly his last moment at PPG Paints Arena. And right now, here at Capital One Arena, the Washington Capitals are recognizing Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin matching up for possibly the final time ever. As there's a split screen on the 2 legends right now on the video board.
Well, obviously, Sid's got Ovechkin when it comes to Stanley Cups, gold medals, but Ovechkin has Sid on the Calder Trophy, as I mentioned, but also in the Richard trophies for most goals in a season. So when you compiled all the trophies, just the individual awards, never mind the team awards, I don't think there's been a mantle built big enough to hold everything.
Ryan Russ nearly fed Rickard Rakell on the near side of the crease. It's worked along the far boards and out into the Penguin zone it goes. Penguins on the power play here. We've got 8:50 to go in the first period, no score. Erik Karlsson gliding into the neutral zone, but he pitched it back to Rickard Rakell. Sidney Crosby now over the Capitals line to Malkin at the near point. Works it down the wall, at the corner, shoveled it to Crosby, snap back up to Karlsson. High slot. He'll drag. He'll fire to Malkin above the circle. Karlsson, quick shot. Crosby with the tap attempt. Kept out by Thompson, and Washington clears it down.
Oh, I love that play right there. Sid went behind the net and disappeared. He popped out to the right of Thompson. And then when the puck went from right side Malkin to left side Karlsson, Sid came to the other side for the redirect, and Thompson was there waiting for it.
Trademark down to a knee for Sidney Crosby, but couldn't get it past Thompson as a pressuring Tom Wilson takes the puck away from Stuart Skinner's outlet pass attempt. It gets kicked over to the far corner. The Penguins will pick it up. 45 seconds to go on their power play. Second unit out on the ice now as Letang dances in his own zone. Brings it to the near side of the neutral zone. Drop back pass to Tommy Novak. He'll get it to Kevin Hayes over the Capitals line near side. Sweeps it up to Letang. Now to far circle for Brazeau. To Chinikov above the circle. Downstairs Brazeau. Back up to Letang. Over to Hayes. One-timer saved by Thompson. Kicked over to the far wall. Chinikov plays it. High slot Chris Letang. Brings it down above the near circle. Slowly down to the corner for Hayes, and it's back up to Letang. Now to Chinikov over at the far side. Wrister down low. Brazeau's got it. Tried to go top shelf, but sailed it over the net. Hayes fighting for the puck along the near wall. Novak 2. It's Hayes in the circle. Stripped out by Chikrin. Faravari standing up in the box. 2 seconds left on the power play. It's Beauvillier in the Penguin zone. He flips it down to the corner as Faravari comes out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5.
That's a really good job by Igor Chinikov. He was a forward playing defense on a 1-on-1 against Beauvillier. He looked like a 10-year vet back there, the way he stripped the puck away from Anthony Beauvillier.
So still no score. We've got under 7 minutes to play in this first. Penguins 0 for 1 on the power play today, out shooting the Capitals 6-4. Down to the far corner, Joona Koppanen trying to take the puck away. It's worked over to the near wall. Wotherspoon collects and sends it deep. McGroarty slammed into the boards by Matt Roy. Pitched up along the near side by Washington. They'll find it over to the far side for a hustling Hudson. He's got it over the Penguins line. The circle drags and fires. Got deflected all the way up to the near side. It rebounds. Parker Wotherspoon snaps it over to Sam Girard. Knocked it down. Takes it in the Capital zone towards the net. Centering pass. And he couldn't connect with Rucker McGroarty. Girard, though, still in full flight, stopped the puck at the near point, tried to send it deep to the corner. Pierre-Luc Dubois cut it off, and then works it out to the neutral zone. Penguins reset. Capitals get a change. No score in this hockey game. 6 minutes to go in the first. Penguins out shooting Washington, still 6-4. As Raquel over the Capitals line, curls around at the half wall, got pitched into the boards by Anthony Beauvillier, down to the corner for Crosby, up along the wall to the far point, Solovyov. He got it to Crosby, a quick one-timer attempt, didn't get all of it, as Thompson kicks the rebound down to the corner. Penguins keep it alive. St. Ivany high slot, wrister deflected wide. Crosby in behind the net, can't get to it. It's worked over to the corner and pitched up along the near wall. Beauvillier tries to sweep it out. He gets it to Ovechkin. Near side of the neutral zone to Strome over the Penguins line. At the far point, he'll curl around, send it right to Ilya Solovyov, who takes it up ice for the Penguins. Over the Capitals line, far side, worked his way through Strome, threw it off the end boards. Penguins get a change with 5:20 to go in this first no score. Alexei Protas lost the puck in the Penguins zone. Solovyov gets to it, got it to Carlson. The Penguins look to get up ice once again. Carlson slowly goes into the neutral zone. Flutters one ahead of Tommy Novak. Tried to work it to the high slot. Lost it as it was slowed down by Protas. Now a stretch pass looking for Alexei Protas. Missed his stick. Skinner will stop it. Get it to Carlson, who gets slammed into the boards by Protas. They set up his brother, and his shot gets deflected wide. That's Ilya Protas, who scored his first NHL goal yesterday in Pittsburgh. He had a 3-point night with a couple of assists in just his second NHL game. Protas has it again to Wilson Rister. Glove save by Stuart Skinner at the top of his crease to keep this game scoreless. 4:37 to go here in Washington of the first period. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It's WrestleMania week, and Sirius XM Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7 is getting you ready for the Squared Circle's biggest event.
WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of pro wrestling.
Hear in-depth breakdowns of the matches.
CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, the biggest clash in years.
Join the daily conversation.
There were things that Pat McAfee said in the ring on Friday night that I was completely shocked that he said.
It's WrestleMania week on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, channel 156 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
2-on-1.
It's coming down to the wire.
Out and across the lightning line, right circle Theodore. Theodore is checked by Hagel. 2-on-1 the other way.
Where every point can make or break a team's dream.
For Kucherov. Score!
The push to the playoffs.
The push to the playoffs.
Nathan McKinney's got some room. He scores!
Only one team can bring home the cup.
The Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
Join me, Ward Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
McFit.
Well, Penguins and Capitals are still scoreless, and the shots on goal now even at 6. We've got 4:37 to go in this first period. The Penguins 0 for 1 on the lone power play. But this game has lived up to its expectation already. Whole bunch of energy, a whole lot of physicality, and right now, no goals.
Well, shots say 6-6, but it doesn't tell the tale. I think the Penguins have had the majority of not only offensive zone time, but also when you think of the quality chances of the 6 shots, I have to give the edge to the Penguins.
I'd agree with you, partner. Justin Brazeau slings it down, racing after Ville Koivunen, and all he can do is poke at it as Washington takes it the other way. Ryan Leonard to Pierre-Luc Dubois, missed his stick. It angles right down to the net. And Stuart Skinner will leave that be for icing. 4:20 to go in the first period. We've got no score here in Washington.
Well, Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $120 million. Yeah, $120 million. So don't forget to play at your local retailer, or you can do what the cool kids do. Sit on your couch in your feetsy pajamas and play online. Pennsylvania lottery proceeds benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. You got to be 18 or older, and please play responsibly.
Penguins win the draw. They get it to Chinikov near circle. He whiffed on a wrister, dances around the near half wall to get past Chikrin. Now sweeps it up to Russ. Back downstairs looking for Crosby, and behind the net, muscling his way around Connor McMichael. Now dashes over to the near side as he'll get it to Russ. Far circle, up to Girard. High slot. He'll take it to the far point. Now to Letang, near circle. Wrister coming, deflected wide. And Thompson kept it out as Crosby somehow pinned a shot that just went wide of the net.
Yeah, the original deflection by Crosby. Thompson didn't know he made the save until he felt the puck hit him because there was so many bodies in front. But the rebound came right out to Sidney Crosby, who in a 360 motion spun, and just as he's falling backwards, got a lot on it. And I think it just hit the outside of the net to the right of Thompson, just past the post.
Penguins are back in the Capital zone. No score with 3.5 to play in this first. Malkin coughed it up at the far half wall. Washington brings it the other way. It's Duhaime speeding into the Penguin zone. Shot on net goes wide. To the far corner. It's tried to be worked along the wall. Duhaime takes it back in the circle. Turnaround shot and a glove save by Skinner. Reading it the entire way. 3:16 to go in this first period. We've still got no score from our nation's capital. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge presented by Expedia is back.
Come on, boys.
And now it's time to take your shot. Face off against family and friends. And see if you can predict this year's playoffs. Can you pick the perfect bracket and claim the ultimate prize? A trip to a 2026-27 NHL event and an Adventure Chrono NHL Limited Edition watch by Norcane. Sign up today at nhl.com/bracket.
Penguins and Capitals are still scoreless. We've got 3:16 to go in the first period here from Capital One Arena in D.C. We'll get a face-off to the left of Stuart Skinner. The shots on goal now reading in favor of Washington 7-6, but again, more good chances from both teams, especially the Penguins. Dylan Strome to take the draw against Jona Koppanen, and the Penguins control. Ilya Solovyov skates it up ice, got it for Jack St. Ivany, far side of the neutral zone. He'll tip it down to the Capitals end. The near half wall, Soderblom sent it in behind the net, collects it, far circle, turns around, fires, and it's fought off the shoulder by Logan Thompson. Koppanen at the far corner and behind the net to Soderblom. Chases it down along the near wall. Cut off at the goal line from Hudson, and now Soderblom takes it back, brings it over to the far side, muscling his way through around Hudson, taken down to a knee on the ice, but pitches it up to the near wall for Solovyov. D-to-D, St. Ivany a blast, long pad saved by Thompson as Koppanen's attempt goes off the leg of Dylan Strome. Soderblom with it again in the near corner. Up along the board, snapped it up to Solovyov, over to St. Ivany, far circle, dances up to the point. Solovyov one-timer, glove saved by Logan Thompson. 2:25 to go in this first. We've still got no score despite the Penguins' efforts.
Carter, that shift by Elmer Soderblom, you know, I thought it was interesting. Dan Muse's comments after yesterday's game, talking about some of the young players, and let's throw Soderblom in there. Young player trying to find a solid spot in this roster, or on this lineup, I should say, come playoff time. Dan Muse's words, I want to see somebody raise their hand and say, me, I'm your guy. That shift right there by Elmer Soderblom was just that. I want to see that from Rutger McGroarty. I want to see that from Billy Koivunen, because you can't just go out there and play safe. Oh, I don't want to make a mistake, because you're going to be heading down to Wilkes-Barre if you continue to play like that. But Elmer Soderblom, he's banging his stick on the ice saying, give me that thing, man. I want the puck. I want to hang on to it. I want to make plays. That was a dominant shift by Elmer Soderblom.
He has points in 6 of his last 8 games and already more goals and assists in less games with the Penguins than he was with the Detroit Red Wings before being traded over. 2 minutes to go in this first period. Penguins and Capitals are scoreless. It's Protas in the Penguin zone, centering pass that Tommy Novak steals away, but then he lost it. Turnaround shot, far circle, and a save from Stuart Skinner to deny Ilya Protas of his second NHL goal.
Well, the Caps are going to get their chances. And they've had some odd man breaks, but two things. I like the way the Penguins are back-checking with a purpose, mostly through the middle of the ice, number one. Number two, the gap control by the Penguins defensemen when the Caps are coming through the neutral zone with speed has been really good. So they're closing that gap on the one side and the other side. The defensemen on the one side, the forwards coming back on the other side, and there's been quite a few turnovers by the Caps so far.
Penguins win the draw out of their zone. They sling it down to the Capitals' end. Crosby collects near corner, goes shoulder to shoulder with Rivalry in the end boards. Russ couldn't keep hold of the puck. Ryan Leonard sends it up along the near wall, but Chinakhov took it away. The high slot, it's poked out to the neutral zone by Washington, but the Penguins take it back. Crosby in his own end. Dishes it over to Chris Letang. Up ahead to Russ. Now threads the needle to Crosby in the Capitals zone. Near circle, down to the corner. Curls him behind the net. Sweeps it up to the far point for Wotherspoon. Snapped over to Letang. Shot coming. Deflected, goes over to the far corner. Rivalry playing it off the wall. He got taken down to the ice. Nothing. No, there it is. It's going to be a penalty on Crosby. Penguins touch the puck. 1:09 to go in the first period. No score, and the Penguins will be shorthanded for the first time today. Sid's already in the box. The official's nowhere near the red line.
What I thought was interesting, Furman South was about 10 feet away from Sid. And he was about to put his hand up, and he took it back down.
Pittsburgh 87, Julius tripping.
The referee, Chris Rooney, who was outside the red line. Sid was deep inside the Washington zone, again, near Furman South. The referee, Chris Rooney, who was close to 100 feet away, he's the referee that makes the call.
Penguins shorthanded for the first time today. 7th best PK in the NHL, but the 2nd best on the road.
By the way, it clearly was a penalty. I just thought it was interesting, the dynamic there between the two referees and how far apart they were.
Well, and that's why I was hesitant to say here comes a penalty. As Alex Ovechkin tees one up off of Brian Russ. The rebound goes all the way over to the Capitals' end, and Russ looking down at his leg after blocking that shot.
Yeah, I think he's more concerned about his equipment. I don't think it really hurt him or injured him. I think he's worried about maybe a shin guard cracked or maybe did damage to his skate.
Ovechkin downstairs to Sordiff, and they score. Alex Ovechkin from the near point ripped a wrister towards Justin Sordiff, who was racing towards the net. He got a piece of it, but then so did Stuart Skinner. Sordiff hung around the net and was able to bat it home, and the Washington Capitals, with a power play goal, have a 1-0 lead, less than a minute to go in this first.
That's the key, what you said right there. Sordiff did not go by the net. It is a shot pass by Ovechkin looking for Sordiff, who got in behind Parker Wotherspoon, and that redirect, I glanced off of Skinner, kissed the crossbar, came off the back of Skinner, laid in the blue paint, and Sordiff didn't go for the skate. He hit the brakes.
Their coach's challenge to determine if the play was offside prior.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, as long as it's not goalie interference, we're pretty good. The Penguins are 4 for 4 this season when it comes to challenges for offsides.
A pretty fast challenge, too, by the Penguins coaching staff.
Great point.
We have yet to see a replay here. Right now, there's 40.6 seconds to go in the first period. And here we go.
Well, that was quick. That should be good for the Penguins.
After the coach's challenge to determine the play was offside at 44.4, there is no goal on the play. Please reset the clock to 44.4.
When you have that quick of a challenge and that quick of an answer, Penguins are 5 for 5 now in challenges for offside.
There was not even a replay shown until after the call was made. Yeah, it looked like the rookie Ilya Protas was well over the line.
Yeah, he was. He was on to carry the puck into the zone and dropped it to Ovechkin, who was outside the zone. Oh, yeah. And it's very black and white. Still 0-0.
They have yet to put up the official time of the power play still for the Capitals, and there it is. Still a minute 35 of a man advantage for Washington. Only 44 seconds to go in this period, though. They're going to face off at the near left dot in front of the Penguins penalty box that's currently occupied by Sidney Crosby as Dylan Strome wins the draw against Joona Koppanen. So we're still scoreless. 35 to go in the opening period. Cole Hudson falls down to the ice while getting a pass over to Strome over the Penguins line. Back to Hudson, high slot, near circle. Ovechkin a blast and a pad save by Stuart Skinner. Sent up to the far point for Strome. He'll send a wrister, redirected in front, but kicked wide to the corner. Ilya Protas trying to bat it home. Now they fight for the puck in behind Skinner's net. 15 seconds to go in the period. Up to the point for Dylan Strome. And Joona Koppanen steals away a pass intended for Ovechkin, clears it down. 5 seconds to go in the period. Hudson's got it with 3 seconds, 2 and 1. That'll do it for the opening 20. And we've got no score still. The Penguins had a goal, the Capitals had a goal, but it was overturned due to Washington being offside. Washington will get 51 seconds of a man advantage to begin the second period, but right now, it's a 0-0 hockey game.
I thought both goaltenders were outstanding in this game. I thought the Washington Capitals were more physical than the Pittsburgh Penguins, but I like the Penguins game. I like their energy in this game. They're playing with a purpose. They're playing together, rolling 4 lines. And again, I mentioned Elmer Soderblom there. That's 2 or 3 shifts. He's very, very noticeable. Really wants the puck on the stick here this afternoon.
Stuart Skinner's likely last game before the playoffs, as Logan Thompson is trying to help his team make it to the playoffs. Both goaltenders with 8 saves through the first 20. We've got no score. Brian Metzer is standing by. He'll have the first intermission report for us as you're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Ever dreamed about signing with the Penguins? Now you can. With the Penguins Power Play package from FNB, you can be a part of the team with a Pens branded debit card, cashback credit card, and personal checks. Plus, score exclusive rewards like discounts on tickets, Pens gear, and more. Sign with the Penguins at fnb-online.com/penguins. FNB, the official bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins. FNB, member FDIC, credit card subject to approval. See site for details.
Protecting your assets should not be. When it comes to insurance, employee benefits, or surety bonding, rely on the industry experts at Suber to help you minimize risk, maximize potential, and improve your bottom line. Suber, an official partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Get your business in the game with Glass Mirror Fuel. We supply gas, diesel, propane, and other fuels for businesses throughout Western and Central PA. We even loan tanks and pumps. Call 800-235-9054 or visit glassmirror.com. Your power play for fuel.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our first intermission report where the Penguins and Capitals are scoreless after one period of play at Capital One Arena. Brian Metzer here with you, and it could be the final matchup of Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin, and it looked that way early in the game when Sid, Ovi, Gino, Chris Letang all posed for a photo. Sidney Crosby took on Alex Ovechkin in the opening faceoff. However, there is still a chance that these teams could meet a week from now in the playoffs if things break right for the Caps. So we'll see if that happens. But the game, you heard Joe and Phil talking about it. Penguins had the better of the opportunities, even though they were outshot. They just took a shot away from the Capitals, but it was 10-8 a moment ago. It's now 9-8 in terms of shots on goal. Each team had a power play in the period. Sidney Crosby went to the box at 18:51 for tripping. Rivalry went for the Caps for high sticking at 10:48. Penguins generated 2 shots on goal on their power play. The Caps managed to score a goal with Sidney Crosby in the box. However, the astute group on the Penguin side noticed that it may have been an offside play, and after review it was, and that goal that would have gone to Justin Sourdif came off the board, robbing Alex Ovechkin of an assist too. The people down there were going nuts when it looked like he might have set him up for the goal, but Stu Skinner pretty solid in the period and stopping all 9 that he faced, and the same can be said on the other side for Logan Thompson. That's where we stand right now. It is a 0-0 tie after 1 period of play in D.C. When we come back, a conversation with a longtime Capitals scribe, and he's covered this team for years. He's joined me for years here, too. It's my buddy Ted Starkey. He'll be with us next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It's hockey night in Pittsburgh, starring a lineup of Ford MVPs here to take on the ice.
The Bronco family and Explorer putting a twist on the classics. And the Mach-E, can I just say, it's electrifying.
Absolutely, Blink, and you'll miss the Ford Mustang.
And the Ready for Anything F-Series, best-selling trucks in Pittsburgh.
Wow, I'd hate to go up against this team.
Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
This is Labatt, brewed for the hockey fans who yell, shoot it from the cheap seats, and scream, ref, you suck, like it ever worked. You pound on the glass, spill your beer, and still act like you're running the power play. But hockey wouldn't be hockey without fans like you and a Labatt in hand. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Kelly's Riverside Saloon has 350 Labatt Blue bottles during all Penguins games.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Tired of the cold and shoveling snow? Same. This year, make an easy escape from winter by switching to S&T Bank. With online and mobile banking, you are always in control. Set savings goals, track your budget, and transfer funds faster than you can say, pina colada, please. With convenient locations and ATMs, we'll make planning your next tropical trip a breeze. Stop by your local S&T branch, visit stbank.com, or call 800-325-2265. Banking made easy so you can spend more time in the sun. S&T Bank, member FDIC.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Coca-Cola and the new Coke Zero, founding partner of the Penguins. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
Pens and Caps scoreless after 1 period of play in D.C. Brian Metzer here with you, and now joined by a longtime guest of mine when the Pens and Caps come together. It's none other than Ted Starkey. He's the internet news manager for Newsday, author of Chasing the Dream, Life in the AHL, a Capitals book called Red Rising, another book called Transition Game, and a columnist over at Hockey Hot Stove. Ted, welcome back, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. Always good to be on. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's great to get you back on. I was looking it up today. I think you and I have been talking Caps, Penguins, Sid, Ovi for at least 13 years on the Penguins Radio Network, and overall close to 16 years. Crazy that it's kind of winding down. I still feel like these guys have a lot left in the tank, but it's sad in a way that it could be coming to a close.
It is. I mean, it's strange. You know, obviously you see some of the pregame stuff today. You wonder. I mean, I'm of the opinion I think he comes back. As I was telling you offline that, you know, Ovi has 32 goals, the same as Anthony Mantha, which leads all the restricted free agents coming up. So, I mean, he doesn't quite have passed the eye test anymore, but, you know, 32 goals, 32 goals. So hard to replace that.
Yeah, he's still very dangerous. It was amazing because the beginning stages of this season, I know a couple people said to me yesterday when they played in Pittsburgh, what do you think? Do you think he's done? And I said, if you'd asked me in November, I would have said no doubt about it. But the second half, I know it's, like you said, it doesn't always pass the eye test. He doesn't move like he once did. But 32 goals, I mean, most of them came in the second half of the season. What happened to spark that? Was it more Flamin' Hot Cheetos and Subway or what?
I think you saw a little bit more of, he got away from going to the office, I think, first part of the year, especially when they lost Dubois early in the year and then Ryan Leonard went out.
Yeah.
So the power play was a little bit of a mess. I think you'd start to see them go back to the formula that was success, just basically feed him and dare the goalie to stop it. But yeah, I mean, I kind of thought before the season, I think if he was going to announce his retirement, he'd probably use the Olympic break as kind of a springboard for a farewell tour. And, this week with the video, it kind of even convinced me a little bit more that I think he's coming back. He just wants to see what the team's going to do in the offseason and, probably contract numbers as well.
Do you think the World Cup of Hockey looming that the NHL and the NHLPA are putting on with talk that maybe Russia will be included has anything to do with this? Wanting to maybe be included in that?
I think, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I think, one of the things I'm sure he regrets that, obviously he couldn't take part in the Olympics with everything going on in the Ukraine. But, I think he definitely would want to represent his country. I mean, even if he retires from the NHL, he's going to play for Moscow Dynamo. He's already said that years and years ago. So whatever happens, this is not the end of Ovi on the ice. It's just if he's going to be here or is he going to be in Moscow next year.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to have like a Yager-esque kind of end of the career where he just plays for, infinity overseas. Ted, we have about a minute left, but just where is this team situated right now? I know you said he would want to see what they're doing. A lot of young talent coming into the mix. We watched it on display yesterday. Those Protoss boys look pretty darn good, and 697 pounds a man playing along with Tom Wilson is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the trade deadline, trading John Carlson, I think hit him pretty hard. And the defense has not been very good since he left. I think, the Caps all year said they were going to get another top six forward. They never did. Obviously, now you're seeing pros come up, and they have another guy, Andrew Cristall and Hershey, who's supposed to be very good. So we'll see. But, I mean, I think unless something bad happens in terms of what he doesn't like, I think he's coming back.
Well, we're going to hold you to that, Ted. We'll see what happens. And, of course, we might be doing this a little more this season if they end up making the playoffs. But no matter what, whether it's Sid or Ovi, you and I will be talking some pucks, and I always appreciate the time, my friend. Thanks for today.
Anytime, man. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. That is Ted Starkey. You can find him over on X at Ted Starkey. Always a great job covering the league, the Caps, and everything else. Check out his books, too. When we come back, news from around the league on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Take a break and come out with us tonight.
Not tonight, man.
Come on. You deserve a night out. You're going to miss out.
Miss out on what?
While you stayed home, they won big. They celebrated. They got the suite, stayed up all night, and made memories. And you weren't there. Some nights are too good to sit out. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
NHL fans, give yourself some great looks this season and get Pittsburgh Penguins tickets at Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Penguins and the NHL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game, so you can catch all the action live all season long. If your plans change, you can sell or transfer your tickets, and mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena in time for puck drop. With Ticketmaster, you'll ensure that when they shoot, you'll score. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Penguins.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
On the ice, playing smart can sound like this. And in the grocery store, shopping smart will sound like this. At Shop and Save, you can have a game-winning meal plan with essential everyday Culinary Circle and Stone Ridge Creamery products. Stock up on our store brands and rack up your pump perks to redeem at 140 participating Sunoco locations. Shop, save, enjoy life.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh's entertainment destination. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
Pens and Caps scoreless after one in D.C. Brian Metzer taking a look around the league with you now. Avalanche head coach Jared Bednar had a scary moment last night. He took a puck off the face He will miss the next 2 Avalanche games. He's not going to travel with the team. He has facial fractures and a corneal abrasion. Actually was taken to the hospital last night. They say it won't require surgery and he should be okay and he'll make a full recovery, but that's always scary. Seen a time or two lately where people in the bench area, coaches and trainers, etc., are taking pucks, and I'm waiting for the day that they try and come up with some sort of protection for that area, because it's always happened, but it seems like it's a little more prevalent now, and guys are shooting pucks harder and heavier than ever. Looking around the league for tonight, you heard Ted Starkey a moment ago talking to me about John Carlson. Well, he joined the Anaheim Ducks. He and the Ducks could clinch a playoff spot tonight if they defeat the Vancouver Canucks in any fashion. That game will take place at 8 p.m. So it will be interesting to see how John Carlson fares there. And you know, Alex Ovechkin and company, Tom Wilson, they were pretty upset to lose their longtime running mate with the Washington Capitals. But Carlson scored his first career hat trick the other day, and he's found a new home there out in Anaheim. When we come back here, second period action from D.C. Joe Brand and the old 2-9er Phil Bourque will have it for you next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, what the heck is wrong with this thing? Welcome to Morgan Wallen Radio. What's happening now? Morgan Wallen Radio. Morgan Wallen what?
My very own channel, Morgan Wallen Radio. It's on right now, channel 64.
I guess I'm the problem. This I gotta hear.
It's pretty cool that I get to hopefully have an impact on somebody else being in charge of this station.
Morgan Wallen Radio, channel 64, and in the Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Coulias.
Of all the players who were drafted in 2019, which player has scored the most goals in the fewest games? Cole Caulfield. Size does matter. You don't want a team of 5'9" defensemen. But scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in sports. And Cole Caulfield scores a lot of goals.
The Power Play with Steve Coulias. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
It's almost here. The Stanley Cup playoffs are coming. Big hits. What a hit! Big goals.
Harley shot. He scores!
Big saves.
That might be one of the top 10 saves of the season.
Get every unforgettable moment from puck drop to the final horn. Hear it your way with home and away calls. The Stanley Cup playoffs.
McDavid scores!
Live on NHL Network Radio, Channel 91 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, this show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The fastest game on ice.
Big Smalls, he's in. Smalls to step up. He scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Period number 2 between the Penguins and the Capitals is on deck here from our nation's capital. We've got no score as we're set to begin this second. Both goaltenders with a pretty impressive opening 20 minutes. Right now the Capitals with 9 shots on goal, the Penguins with 8. And Washington will have 51 seconds of a power play to begin this middle frame.
And just to remind everyone, if the Penguins win this game in regulation, the Washington Capitals season is over. Penguins cannot go up, they cannot go down. They are where they are, second in the Metropolitan Division. They will have home ice in the first round of the playoffs. That is locked in. What's not locked in are 4 teams, 1 chair. You played musical chairs as a little boy in Chicago, didn't you, Joe?
I wasn't very good at it, but
no,
yes.
I wasn't very good at it either. But when you're running around that chair, and the music's going, and it stops, and there's 4 kids, 1 chair, that's where we are right now in game 81 of the of the NHL regular season.
You're making me sweat just thinking back to 4th grade gym class.
Flyers, Islanders, Columbus Blue Jackets, and these Washington Capitals all looking for that 1 chair. And for the Capitals, it's Slim and none, and Slim has 1 foot out the door.
Philly in control of their own destiny, currently with the spot as Washington wins the draw. We're underway in the second period. Opening face-off to begin it is brought to you by number 1 Cochran Club 1 Rewards. Washington Capitals with 38 seconds on their power play. They're attacking from left to right in their home red sweaters. With Logan Thompson in net, they dump it down to the Penguins' end, near half wall, up to Chychrun at the circle. Rister off the side of the cage. Rebound, Ovi, backhand. Stopped by Skinner. Loose puck goes in behind the net. Brian Russell bring it to the corner. Penguins can't clear it out. Leonard kept it alive. His pass pinballed around. Now downstairs they go to the slot. That's worked out as Chychrun's stick exploded on a keep-in attempt. Brian Russ races after the puck. He gets taken down by Chychrun, who was sliding on the ice. And then Rust and Leonard collide along the end boards. What chaos.
I think because when Chychrun dove and knocked Brian Rust down, he dove and he knocked the puck out of the way first and then slid and knocked the feet. Absolutely, a penalty should have been, but I think the referee gave him the benefit of the doubt just because of the unbelievable effort by Chychrun after breaking his stick at the blue line.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. What are you supposed to do there? Well, we're back to 5-on-5. Crosby's out of the box. Meanwhile, the Capitals back in the Penguins zone. Shot goes off the near corner as Crosby flips it out to Soderblom. He lost it in the neutral zone to McMichael, but now Girard tries to keep it out of harm's way. Off the end board to Letang at the corner. Flipped it up to Crosby, who went between the legs to get it to Girard on the far side.
You had it the first time. Behind the back, between the legs. You got it.
Both of them. That's what he did. Keeps it alive in the corner, trying to snap a pass up to Evgeny Malkin, who just came off the bench above the far circle, but Washington takes it the other way. In the Penguin zone, it's Protas in the slot, trying to feed a pass to Faravari. Penguins take it away. Malkin sends it up top to Novak. He's over the Capitals line above the circle. Drop back pass to Malkin, back to Novak. Backhand shot is fought off by Logan Thompson.
Did he get a glove on that? Oh my goodness, what a shot on the backhand by Tommy Novak. Better save by Thompson.
Malkin's got it again, tried to set up Igor Chinikov in the slot. It missed him. Capitals back in the Penguin zone. Near corner, it's Miroshnichenko. He'll take it in behind the net. Backhand pass, puck is loose, and luckily went in behind the net. Duhaime tied up by Carlson, far corner. Chinikov gets the puck out. His pass to Wotherspoon goes off the Penguins' defenseman's skate. Out to the neutral zone as Washington dumps it back into the Penguins' end. Carlson collects at the far corner. Snaps a long pass up to Novak in the neutral zone, who slings it down to Washington's end. It passes Thompson, goes to the far corner. Chinikov throws Hudson into the boards, trying to take the puck away. But Washington works it up the wall and brings it up to center ice on the stick of Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Over the Penguins line, near side, at the half boards. He'll sling it down to the far corner. It gets to Beauvillier, who accelerates it to the far point for Hudson. It's kicked out by Jack St. Ivany. Washington will reset. 3 minutes gone in this second period. No score. Washington's back in the Penguin zone. It's Strome along the far wall. Got tied up by Jack St. Ivany. Lost the puck in the near corner, though, as Anthony Beauvillier sent him into the wall. Van Riemsdyk wrister fought off by Skinner. Rebound plopped out to the far corner as Brazeau tried to sweep it ahead to Kevin Hayes. It got tied up by Jacob Chychrun. Everybody falling down to the ice as Washington takes the puck back in their own zone.
Once again, Chychrun had a puck bounce over his stick, and as he turned with one hand on the stick to sweep it away from Brazeau, yeah, he got puck, but once again, then he gets feet of Brazeau, hauls him down. Should have been a penalty there.
Leonard with a wraparound try, but a lunging stop by Skinner as Chychrun sends a blast above the far circle on a loose puck. That went high. Joona Koppanen chips and chases it down to the near corner of the Capitals' end. Gordy trying to get in front of Chychrun for the puck, but it squeaks out to McMichael at the near corner. He sweeps it up and out into the Penguin zone. It goes off to the races as Girard. That'll be icing by the Caps. 4 minutes gone in this second. No score from Washington.
What a wild first 3 minutes and 51 seconds of the second period. We're still tied at 0. I want to talk about EQT, because building the future takes grit, and no one does grit like Pittsburgh. EQT is ready to unleash the build and power America's next big win. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
It's been a pretty gritty 23, make it 24 minutes now to begin this hockey game. No score, second period. Face off to the right of Logan Thompson, and it's cleared out by Washington into the Penguin zone, right on net to Skinner. So he'll slide it to Letang. And the Penguins now take it up ice. Cross ice pass to Letang over the Capitals line. Far side, rims it along the boards. Russ trying to collect, but couldn't. Tied up in behind the end boards as Leonard will flip it down to the corner. Crosby sends Duhaime into the wall, but Faravari takes the puck away. Kicks it over to the far side for Connor McMichael, who will chip it down to the Penguins' end near corner. Letang playing the short hop off the boards. Then played it up ahead to Sam Girard with a drop back pass to Chinakhov, trying to dance his way into the Capitals zone. Didn't have the puck with him. And Letang with a great poke check to keep the puck away from a long stretch pass from Washington, trying to bring it into the Penguin zone. 4.5 minutes gone in this second period. Still no score.
It was a really great play by Chris Letang because you had the turnover by Chinakhov in the neutral zone. And Sam Girard, who was supposed to be the safety valve defenseman, decided, I'm going to scream down the left wing. I'm going to get that puck from Chinakhov after he dangles through the middle of the ice. Chinakhov lost the puck. Girard couldn't get back. And that was a stretch pass to Alexei Protas. He had his brother Ilya wide open through the middle of the ice. If Letang doesn't get that puck, it's on the stick from one Protas to the other in a clear-cut breakaway.
And the Protas brothers each teaming up for a goal yesterday. Ilya set up his older brother Alexei, and then later Ilya Protas picked up his first NHL goal. 3-point night for the rookie yesterday in Pittsburgh. The dump in from the far point is taken back by Tommy Novak in the Capitals zone. Down for Malkin, tried to go back to Novak. He got tied up by Matt Roy. Now Ricard Raquel takes away a clearing attempt, and the Penguins try to keep it in the Capitals zone, but as it bounced down the blue line, Washington gets it out to the neutral zone. Now Hudson trying to get away from Tommy Novak. Slipped down to the ice. Nothing called, though. Capitals back in the Penguin zone. It's Alexei Protas down in behind Skinner's net. Wotherspoon shoveled it up to the far side, but it missed Carlson. Now a shot on net that got blocked by Ricard Raquel. Novak will outlet it to the neutral zone, but Washington takes it back again. It tumbles over the Penguin line, and we get offside by the Washington Capitals. 5.5 minutes gone in this second period. Still no score.
Well, I've been impressed with the youngster Justin Sordiff and his play. He was a third-round pick by the Florida Panthers, and the Panthers couldn't find a spot for him, obviously, as loaded as they are. And so they really did him a favor. They moved him here to Washington for a third-rounder and a sixth-rounder. And, the kid from Western Canada, seems like he's been a nice fit here for the Washington Capitals that are looking to get younger and faster. He's a great story that grew up in very, very humble home, his mom being from Ghana in Africa.
Looked like he had the first goal. Here's a backdoor find over to Justin Brazeau, but it got stuffed out by Logan Thompson. Capitals up ice, dump it down to the Penguins end. As a short shot on net was slowed down by Skinner with a glove save. It tumbled over to the near side. Penguins send it all the way down to the Capitals end. That'll be icing. Just under 14 minutes to play in this second period. Still no score.
And Stuart Skinner, that was one of those short hops. There's the ones you should attack, right? And Stuart Skinner all-time against Washington, 2-4-0 with a 306 and 891. I looked up his numbers all-time against Alexander Ovechkin. 6 games played, and Alexander Ovechkin has 2 goals on just 25 shots coming into this one here this afternoon against Stuart Skinner.
First time he's faced Skinner in a Penguins uniform. We're going to face off to the right of Stuart Skinner, and the Penguins keep it away from the Capitals as Jack St. Ivany was pressured, brought it in behind the Penguins net. Up to the neutral zone it goes. Brazeau is offside as Kevin Hayes was over the blue line. We'll go to a break. 13:44 to go in the second. Still no score here from D.C. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanging.
Ford F-Series are the best-selling trucks in Pittsburgh for 11 years running. So it's no wonder that Pittsburgh's favorite hockey team choose Ford as their go-to vehicles. Yep, that's right. Your favorite team meets our favorite team. That's a stacked roster if you ask us. Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Only from your neighborhood Ford store.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
Penguins and Capitals are still scoreless. We've got 13:44 to go in the second period. Both teams with a handful of chances. Washington right now 13 shots on goal. The Penguins with 11.
I just got 3 things to say.
Now, the Penguins also in this game have 12 missed shots. So that lends to what I was talking about after the first period. They've had the majority of the offensive zone time. Thompson has been really good. He was really good yesterday, too. He was a difference, especially in the third period. When Ricard Raquel had an unbelievable opportunity, you had Anthony Mantha with a penalty shot in the third period, and Thompson stopped both of those chances to allow the Capitals to get the 1-goal lead and then eventually the empty netter by Alexander Ovechkin.
Charlie Lindgren unavailable right now. The Capitals with Logan Thompson playing in back-to-back games. The other goaltender on the bench is Mitchell Gibson, who was called up from Hershey. Just 22 games there this year, as he has yet to make his NHL debut, the Harvard product. Still no score, 13-13 to go in this second. This is dumped in from the Penguins all the way down for icing.
Well, some other digging I did as far as Penguins that have got pucks past Thompson. The best for the Penguins is Noel Acciari, 2 goals on 8 shots, but he's not in the lineup here. Next best would be Kevin Hayes. He's the only Penguin that's playing here this afternoon that has more than 1 goal against Logan Thompson, and Big Hazy has 2 goals on 11 shots against Logan Thompson in his career.
Both those guys scoring yesterday. Capitals have it in the Penguin zone. It's Chychrun far point over to Van Riemsdyk. Wrister saved by Skinner. Loose puck near side, and he'll pounce on top of it to freeze it. It was Ilya Protas hanging around there, looking for some loose change, but Skinner powers his way over the puck, keeping it scoreless. 12:50 to go in the second.
We talked about this line yesterday. They were the best line for the Caps, for sure. Alexei Protas, 6'6", 250. Little brother, Little Pro, they call him, 6'6", 225. And then the shrimp on the line, Tom Wilson, that's 6'4", 225.
The Protas brothers, along with Evgeny Malkin, looked like they were at Alex Ovechkin's house yesterday. So just a whole lot of size in that entire house. All the kiddos there looking like they were hanging out for the night, playing some shinny. The Capitals win the draw, flip it up to the point for Van Riemsdyk. High slot Wilson, redirected in front, but luckily it went wide as Ilya Protas battling against Ilya Solovyov in front of Skinner's net. Penguins work it out to the neutral zone, but Chychrun slapped it away from Justin Brazeau. Kevin Hayes takes the puck. He tries to work past Ilya Protas and will get it back to the defenseman in Sam Girard. Over to Jack St. Ivany, who slings it down to the Capital zone. Around the boards to Koivunen. Got it to Brazeau in the circle. Brings it down to the corner at the goal line towards the net. Top shelf. Couldn't get it home. And it's loose in the near circle.
I still really like the idea. There's nothing going on for Justin Brazeau, but they allowed him to hang on to the puck. He said, okay, this isn't a great play or a fancy play. I'm just going to take it into my feet, into the blue paint, and try to make something happen.
Second time he's tried to elevate it over Logan Thompson. He did back in the first period as well. Still no score with under 12 to play in the second. Girard at the near point has it in the Capital zone. Dashes down the blue line to the far circle, curls around. Snaps it over to Chinakhov above the near circle. Wrister fought off by Thompson. Chinakhov handled the rebound, tapped it over to the far side for Sid. Back to Chinakhov, far corner at the hash marks, up to Letang. Thought about a one-timer, but hangs on. D to Girard. Down the blue line again he goes to the far point above the circle. Curls around to Chinakhov at the half boards. He makes a U-turn up at the point. Drags and fires, fought off by Thompson. Rebound to the far wall. Russ collects, sweeps it down low. Alexi Protas waits for it along the end boards. Lost it up to the far point. Carlson's got it fresh off the bench. To Gerard near circle. Over to Rust above the far circle. Unloads, and it's high of the net.
Don't see that very often. That huge windup from Brian Rust. When's the last time we saw that? And the air mailed it about 4 feet over the net.
Put a dent in the plexiglass behind Logan Thompson's net. It swung up to the far point. Penguins back in the Capitals zone. Carlson high slot. Now to the near point. Down along the wall to the corner at the goal line and behind the net to the far side. Curls around to the far circle. Up to Tommy Novak. High slot wrister. Redirected and kicked out by Thompson with a left pad save. Penguins trying to keep the puck alive in the Capitals zone. Long shift here for the Pens. But Chychrun's got it, and he'll fork it down to the Penguins' end. Parker Wotherspoon able to keep it away from Ryan Leonard. Washington can exchange a few bodies. Now Malkin's over the Capitals line. Far side, shovels it in behind the net. Played up the wall by Leonard. Pitched it up to the point. Carlson couldn't keep it onside. Sent a rink wide to the far side for Parker Wotherspoon. Now snapped over to Tommy Novak. He's over the Caps line. Near side, down to the corner, at the goal line. Tied up by Faravari. Still got it to Carlson far point. Little give and go to Malkin in the slot. He gets stripped of the puck by Ryan Leonard. Capitals take it the other way. Leonard tried to chip it over the Penguins line, but Carlson poked it away. Halfway through this hockey game, we've got no score. Shots on goal dead even at 14 apiece. And this puck goes out of play into the Capitals bench. And we will go to our second break. 9:53 to go in the second. No score from DC. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Whenever a team drafts me, I'm grateful, whether it's the number 1 pick or whether it's the 199th pick.
Dreams are about to become a reality for the stars of college football. And SiriusXM NFL Radio is your guide on the path to the 2026 draft.
There are no two draft boards the same.
Listen to interviews with all the prospects, coaches, and general managers.
We're just trying to find the right guys.
And hear every pick of the 2026 draft on NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. We deliver the NHL.
With Brandon Busty of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Did it ever cross your mind saying like, hey, it's going to be a tough journey to the NHL? And, your mentality was, you know what, I'm just going to trust the process.
In hockey, opportunity comes in very different ways and at different times. My opportunity came now. The team in front of me has been unbelievable. They're the main reason for my success. It's fun to be a part of.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Penguins and Capitals are still scoreless. We've got 9:53 to go in the second period here from Washington, D.C. Shots on goal, even at 14 apiece.
I'm curious about the head-to-head right now. Sidney Crosby, one shot. He's won 57% of his face-offs. And on the other end, Alexander Ovechkin, 2 shots, and he's 0 for 1 on his face-offs.
For a moment, it looked like he had the assist on the lone goal of this game. Capitals scored on the power play, but they overturned it due to them being offside. Face-off at center ice, and the Penguins control. Ilya Solovyov will dump it down to the Capitals' end. Far half boards, Brandon Duhaime collects. Tried to outlet it, but Koivunen got in the way. From the far point, he'll shovel it down to the corner. Jumped over the stick of Brazeau, rolls along the end boards, worked up the near wall as the Pens will take it again. Solovyov pitched into the boards by Hudson to Kevin Hayes, who ripped a shot that Thompson fought off.
He fought it off with the blocker there. Point blank, Kevin Hayes just couldn't get it under the bar on Thompson.
St. Ivany in the high slot, still looking for his first NHL goal. Down to the corner at the near side. Koivunen's without a bucket. He has to race back over to the Penguins bench. It's sitting in the near circle in the Capital zone as Washington lifts it up into the air. It dies on the near side of the neutral zone. Now it's dumped into the Penguins' end. 9 minutes to go in the second. Still no score from D.C. Penguins dump it down to the Capitals' end. It's pulled up by Tom Wilson. He'll skate it in behind his own net. Plays it up the near side. It gets worked out to the neutral zone, but Brian Rust takes it. Snaps a long pass ahead to Igor Chinikov. He'll go rink wide for Girard, playing it off the near boards. Darting towards the near corner. Crunched into the wall by Farivari. Now it's taken by Alex Ovechkin, who will leave it for Farivari. 8.5 to play in this second. Still no score. Penguins now out shooting Washington 16-14 as Anthony Beauvillier has it. Penguin zone, wrister, and a save by Stuart Skinner. He denies the former Penguin. Picking up the first goal in this game. 8:22 to go in the second. Still no score.
That's a big save by Stuart Skinner because the gap control was not good. Chris Letang was in dead man's land, backing up into his own zone. He knows how shifty and speedy Anthony Beauvillier is. He played for the Penguins not that long ago. And Letang just had to back up, and Beauvillier tried to use Letang as a screen, but I think Tanger actually did a pretty good job. He knew where he was, Joe, and so he kind of bailed out of it. He kind of got out of the way and thought, I'm not going to try to do something here and get myself even into more trouble. I'm going to let my goaltender see this shot, and luckily it was right into the breadbasket of Stuart Skinner.
He makes his 15th save of the day. Anthony Beauvillier closing in on 300 career points. He brings 298 into this one as Wilson fires a shot off the faceoff. Got deflected, went over to the far corner. Jacob Chikrin taken out by Rucker McGroarty for the puck. Joona Koppanen takes it up ice. Got it to Soderblom. Back to Koppanen. Near circle. Drag centering pass. They crash the net as it goes off its moorings. Thompson made the save as McGroarty crashing in from the slot. Connected on the Washington net. It's dislodged. It's still scoreless. 8:07 to go in the second.
Wow, a lot to like there. Let's back it all the way up into the Penguin zone. Rutger McGroarty in a 50-50 puck, locks horns with Jacob Chikrin, wins the puck battle, gets it up the ice, and off to the races goes Soderblom and Koppanen, and a little give and go between the two as they enter the Cap zone. And Koppanen just hung on to the puck as long as he could. I don't know if he heard. He must have heard McGroarty yelling for the puck as he was beating Chikrin up the ice. And Chikrin, with his gray wheels, was able to recover just as that cross-crease pass came to Rutger McGroarty. Big collision. McGroarty into Thompson, into Chikrin. Shot on goal with a big save by Thompson while he's fending off McGroarty and his own defenseman, Chikrin.
Face off in the Capitals zone. It's controlled by Washington. They clear it down to the Penguins' end. Skinner in behind his net slows it down. Got it up to Raquel in front of the net. Now Malkin with a touch pass looking for Novak, but Van Riemsdyk keeps it alive for Washington. Brings it down to the far corner. Slows down. High slot Leonard. Wrister deflected over to the near corner. Chikrin plays it off the end boards. Down to the corner now for McMichael. Turnaround shot. Right on the doorstep. It's Dubois. Skinner with a few saves. Sitting down in the crease, and they score. A mad scramble towards the Penguin net, and it's Trevor Van Riemsdyk able to get the last touch over the goal line, and it's 1-0 Washington with 7:37 to go in the second.
This is the problem the Penguins had yesterday. Defending in front of their own goal. They've been so good all year long. But Stuart Skinner, how many saves did he make? 2, 3 saves while sitting on his wallet. Gets the pad down, gets the stick down. But if Evgeny Malkin is checking Trevor Van Riemsdyk, he takes him all the way to the net, and then Evgeny Malkin just keeps going and going and going past the goal line almost to the end wall. Meanwhile, Van Riemsdyk stops. He stays right with it, and with Malkin drifting towards the end wall, Van Riemsdyk is allowed on the, third whack to shovel it underneath the pad of Stuart Skinner, and it's 1-0 Washington.
Yeah, the puck sneaks underneath possibly the heel of Stuart Skinner's right skate. And there's only so much of his lower body he can really lock in right there. It's Van Riemsdyk doing everything he can to shovel the puck past, and you're right. Malkin starts to slow things down on Van Riemsdyk, but as he skated by, it just allowed Van Riemsdyk to get the rest of the ingenuity to get it past. The Penguins took a long look at it, but they don't decide on challenging anything. I don't think they would have won anything.
Yeah, and also the referee came to the scorer's desk. Look out.
There's a bit of a breakaway for Protas. Races it down below the goal line to the far side and got thrown off the puck by Jack St. Ivany. And now another turnover. It's Ilya Protas, far side. Went for a centering pass, but Skinner had the poke check. Now a stretch pass ahead to Chinikov. Capital zone, near circle. Dancing, twirling, backhand shot goes wide of the net.
He caught a stick there also. That should have been a high stick. I believe that's on Hudson. As the spin around move by Chinikov, Hudson's beat on it, reaches out with the stick and clips the face of Chinikov. No call.
Penguins trailing 1-0 now. The lone goal from Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Washington clears it out of their zone, out to the neutral zone. McMichael tied up with Girard. Fans want a call, nothing being made.
Yeah, the call should have been on Hudson for hauling down Girard.
Chris Letang down the blue line will sling it into the Capital zone. 6.5 to play in the second period. 1-0 Washington. Girard to Letang. Thought about a one-timer. Now wrister. That got steered wide. Soderblom worked it over to the near corner. It got poke checked away by Wilson. They get thrown into the boards against each other as Soderblom dug it out, kept it alive near point, got it to Girard. Girard dancing around Ovechkin. Brings it to the high slot. He slings a wrister. Didn't get through traffic. Dylan Strome stopped it. Letang to Soderblom. High slot. It's Girard. He rips a shot right off of Alex Ovechkin, who tries to corral it at the near half boards. Worked it over to the far corner as Leonard waits for it. Rather, that's Matt Roy. 5:50 to go in this second. 1-0 Capitals. Anthony Beauvillier into the Penguin zone. Slings it down and around over to the near corner. Ovechkin waiting for it, but it's chipped up the near wall by Girard. Kevin Hayes gets it over to Brazeau over the Capitals line. Far half wall. His shot gets deflected. Pops up, sails out of play, and takes us to a break. 5:36 to go in the second, and the Penguins now trailing by 1 as Trevor Van Riemsdyk finds the first goal of the hockey game. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
This Pittsburgh Penguins moment is brought to you by the officers, members, and families of Local Union Number 5 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Our members have lived and worked in the region since 1897, providing all of the electrical and telecommunications needs of commercial, industrial, and residential customers. We offer a state-of-the-art training center that is second to none and internationally recognized. Local Union Number 5 of the IBW will be here to stand by you for all of your electrical installation needs today and well into the future. Our members show their hometown pride supporting the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What are two things the Pittsburgh Penguins have in common with Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company? Hard work and dedication. If you're looking for heavy equipment, need a specific part, or want expert service, talk to the industry leaders at Cleveland Brothers, your local CAT dealer. We provide solutions and products for construction, landscaping, oil and gas, electric and industrial power, highway, and more. Let us help you score the winning goal. Visit www.clevelandbrothers.com to learn more.
Trevor Van Riemsdyk has the only goal of this hockey game. It's 1-0 Washington. We've got 5:36 to go in the second period here in our nation's capital.
The former Chicago Blackhawk, Trevor Van Riemsdyk, the younger brother of James Van Riemsdyk. That is his 28th career goal. This is unbelievable. He's playing in the 750th game. Wow. Trevor Van Riemsdyk playing in the 750th game. What a career he's had quietly.
Some call him TBR. This is icing.
I believe he was part of the 15 Cup with Chicago, right?
That sounds right, yeah.
And a limited role,
right.
Obviously.
It was a short time for him there.
Yep.
Third goal on the season, 34 years old.
And that goal is the 50th time this season the Washington Capitals have scored the first goal of a game. That's the most in the league.
So 33, 10, and 6 when scoring first coming into this one. Malkin's got it, unloads, and a pad save by Thompson. Kicked over to the far wall and a good bounce. Got it right to Dubois. He'll clear it down to the Penguins' end.
Once again, a big rebound there. There was big rebounds yesterday off of Thompson. They're there again today. I just think the Washington Capitals defensemen have done a really, really good job of digging their heels in and boxing out in front of Thompson when those rebounds are there.
That's why that big missed shot number that you brought up earlier plays a role too. The Penguins steal it away in the slot. It's Raquel near circle, down to the corner. Backhand shoveling pass to Tommy Novak, denied by Thompson again.
Oh, what a pass by Raquel, setting up Tommy Novak with an unbelievable opportunity. Here we go.
A breakaway for Tommy Novak. Capital zone. He overskated the puck, jumped off his stick. Out to the far side, Sam Girard will kick it to the neutral zone. Crosby now looking for Letang up ice. He'll saucer it to the high slot. Chinakhov taken down to the ice, and this is going to be a penalty. Tripping by Martin Ferivari. 4:23 to go in this second period. And the Penguins will get a man advantage here to try and tie things up.
42 Washington, 2 minutes tripping.
Well, two unbelievable opportunities for Tommy Novak. Again, Thompson, the first save after the beautiful cross-ice pass from Rickard Raquel to Tommy Novak, who was left all by himself, completely wide open. And Thompson, moving from his right to his left, dragged the right pad along the ice to Rob Novak. And then shortly thereafter, Novak, with a clear-cut breakaway, just lifts his head up for a second to see where Thompson is. When he does, the puck hops right over his stick.
Penguins unable to score on their last power play. We've got 4:23 to go in this second. They trail 1-0. Crosby wins the draw against Connor McMichael, but we'll do it again.
False faceoff. Reset the clock. 3 seconds. Thank you very much. 4:23 left in the second period. Penguins down the goal.
Russ to Crosby's left, Raquel to his right, Malkin out there along with Carlson, and McMichael wins the draw this time. Gets it over to the far corner for Tom Wilson, who will clear it down to the Penguins' end. Penguins power play, 1 for their last 8. Make it 1 for their last 9 when you include today. As Crosby dances over the Capitals line. Malkin got it to Crosby in the far corner, and behind the net to Brian Russ. Kicked over to Raquel. Works it up the far wall. Then Malkin plays off the shelf. Was waiting for a hard hit from Wilson as Carlson coughed it up. Now it's cleared out once again to the Penguins' end. 1:25 to go on the Penguins power play. They trail 1-0 late in this second. Malkin's over the Capitals line. Drop back pass to Brian Russ. Near point to Carlson. Little give and go. Rust again near circle. Downstairs for Raquel. Back up to the point. Carlson had to hustle to keep it onside. Shoveled it over to Crosby. Now back to Carlson near point. Downstairs for Brian Rust. Up to Erik Karlsson. A lunging effort. Kept it onside. Down to Rust again at the half wall. Up to Carlson. Over to Crosby. Far circle. Downstairs for Malkin. Back up to Crosby. Over to Carlson. One-timer blocked by Tom Wilson. It took him out. He is down on the ice hard. The rebound dropped by Carlson. Raquel to Crosby. That goes wide, and the rebound all the way down to the Penguins' end. Wilson is still down on the ice.
We'll now give him the courtesy whistle. But Sidney Crosby, with that bomb of a one-timer, really let Tom Wilson and the Caps off the hook. As you're right, it was 5-on-3 with Wilson down after blocking that shot. We've seen this from so many players. It's a one-timer, and Wilson now gets himself up. It's a one-timer by Erik Karlsson. And Tom Wilson is moving from his left to his right. As the shot comes, he opens up his leg. He opens up his knee, his thigh, his calf, all of it to make like a kick save. I don't understand why players try to block shots like this. Are they just looking to break bones? I see players also opening up their hands to block shots. Who is teaching these guys to block shots like this? Just completely exposing bones and skin to one-timers. And Tom Wilson is going to go into the locker room with 3:04 left in the second period. He's going to really hobble his way into the Washington locker room in a 1-0 game.
Got him on the right side of his right foot.
Oh boy, yeah. He really turned. He turned from genuflecting on his right knee opening up his left and then turning counterclockwise. By the time the shot came, he caught it right off the outside of the right ankle.
41 seconds to go on the Penguins' power play. This extra time might have allowed their first unit to stay out there.
Good point.
They win the draw. Carlson with it in his own zone. Down to 30 seconds on the Penguins' power play. He'll drop it back to Malkin. Skating over the Capitals logo. Leaves it for Raquel. Over the Capitals line to Russ down the near wall. At the corner. Shoveled it down to Raquel. Over to Malkin. Far corner. Up to Crosby. Carlson near circle now. Side skates up to the point. Over to Crosby. Far circle. Down to the bottom of it. At the goal line. Darts in behind the net. Swings it up to Malkin. Protas kicked it away, and now Van Riemsdyk will clear it down. 3 seconds to go on the Penguins' power play. Faravari standing up. He's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. It stays 1-0 Washington with 2:20 to go in this second. Soderblom taps it over the Capitals line. It's pitched up but not out. Chinakhov backhand flutters it up on net. Logan Thompson made the glove save and then lost the puck for a moment, but was still able to freeze it. 2:09 to go in this second period. It's 1-0 Capitals.
Wouldn't that have been crazy? All these ridiculous saves that he's making. And if that Chinakhov backhand, which was going to go over his head, he didn't want to take the chance. He wanted to glove it. He wanted to get a whistle and get some fresh bodies out there.
That was full extension by Thompson there to make that save. But you're right, maybe 3-4 feet above the net. Face off to the right of Thompson. As the Penguins fighting for it here. Chinakhov and Hudson, and it's taken away by Washington. Leonard tried to go for a lead pass to sort it, but it was knocked down by Tommy Novak. Capitals get it back, though, in their own zone. Leonard breaking around Novak, now into the Penguin zone, right down the middle of the blue line to the far circle. It's Liljegren, fired a shot and a save by Skinner. 1:48 to go in the second period. Still 1-0 Washington.
Oh, what a move. That was by Ryan Leonard. As he came, he just exploded. He went right at Tommy Novak. Novak was flat-footed in the neutral zone. He gave you the old how do you do and see you later, Tommy Novak. And then when the Penguins closed on Leonard, I don't know if he meant to get the puck over to Liljegren, but he came flying down the left side of the slot and went hard from the backhand to the forehand. And Stu Skinner, calm, cool, collected, makes a big save to keep it 1-0 Caps.
18 saves today. Logan Thompson over on the other end has had 20. 1-0 Washington, under 2 minutes to go in the second. Capitals win the draw, and a quick shot from Ovi in the far circle is saved by Stuart Skinner.
You know, the thing is when Ovi's out here, and he scored so many goals right off the face-off. Thank God he has found Dylan Strome, who really has replaced Nicholas Backstrom and does a lot of the same things that Backstrom did for Ovi for years and years and years.
Dylan Strome, a little bit less of a point production this year. Obviously, the Capitals playing a role of that. As he's on a 10-goal drop-off from last season. Now Ovi's got it. Far circle towards the net. Kicked away by Ilya Solovyov.
Solovyov, very noticeable in this game.
St. Ivany slams Beauvillier into the boards, but the former Penguin keeps hold of it. To Ovi at the far point. Tied up. Justin Brazeau's got it. To Ville Koivunen. Passes out of his reach. He can't turn it into a breakaway.
Harder. It actually was on his stick. That was a really good pass.
Now Brazeau to Kevin Hayes. Backhand shot sailed above the net.
Yeah, Brazeau picked the pocket of the Washington Capital player. Gave it to.
There's another loose puck in front of the net, and Hayes swats it wide. Tries to go off the backside of Thompson, but he never got it through. Penguins still with it in the Capital zone. One-timer Brazeau. Beauvillier blocked it, and the Capitals take it the other way on the stick of Hudson. Over the Penguins line, near circle, dancing through, tied up by Solovyov again. Swept around the boards to the far corner. Protas waits for it at the half wall. Pitches it up to McMichael along the blue line to Chikrin above the near circle. Side skates down to the corner at the goal line. Leaves it for Protas. Curls around the circle. Cross-ice pass that was looking for Miroshnichenko. Penguins steal it away. It's a chance for Crosby. Unloads and a save by Logan Thompson. 25 seconds to go in the period. 1-0 Washington. Penguins making... They're looking for maybe one more rush as they chip it down to the Washington end. It's cleared out by the Capitals. Wotherspoon stopped it, sent it rink wide to Crosby. He'll backhand fork it over to the near side. Short hops off the wall as Protas kicks it out to the neutral zone. Wotherspoon stops it again. 6 seconds to go. Crosby's got a far point to Chinakhov, and the Penguins are offside. 2.5 to play in the period, and the Penguins down by 1.
There's no need for Brian Rust to go offside there with 6 seconds to go. Maybe get one more chance with the puck on the stick of Igor Chinakhov. I want to go back to the chance that Sid just had there. I have no idea. I know he was at the end of a shift, but a quick up by the Penguins, and Sid was flying down the left wing. Justin Brazeau was at the end of a shift. He went to the bench. He could have stayed out there another 5 seconds and made that a 2-on-1. And maybe he doesn't get the puck from Sid, but he makes the Caps defend Sidney Crosby differently because he stayed on the ice. He was just tired, went to the bench.
For the Capitals with the only goal in this second period and in this hockey game. It's 1-0 Washington. The Penguins having 21 shots on goal compared to the Capitals 20. Brian Metzer is standing by. He'll have the second intermission report along with a chat with our own old 2-9er. It's all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hey, hockey fans, the ice is heating up and the savings are too at Spitzer Auto World. Shop thousands of new vehicles at the Panda price. And here's the hat trick. Get a lifetime warranty at no charge. Whack more, spend less at Spitzer Auto World.
Our world revolves around you.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
Keeping your home warm in the winter and cold in the summer, Mitsubishi Electric is a top manufacturer of heating and air conditioner products. And they're hiring. To elevate your career in engineering, project management, product assembly, and more, visit meppi.com/careers.
This is Phil Bork, the old 2-9er. Smith's is the official hot dog of the Pittsburgh Penguins and PPG Paints Arena, with recipes over 85 years old. Ask for Smith's hot dogs by name at Giant Eagle and other fine retailers. Smith's, it's a hot dog night in Pittsburgh. SmithsHotDogs.com.
Hey, Pens fans, Colby Armstrong here. As the official security partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the local team here at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses throughout southwestern PA. They are headquartered here. Their families eat, shop, and go to school and church in our communities. So they have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/pens for a free security assessment that will address your unique needs. That's vectorsecurity.com/pens.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our second intermission report, where the Penguins find themselves down 1-0 to the Washington Capitals at Capital One Arena after 2 periods of play. Brian Metzer back here with you, and it's been an interesting hockey game. I mean, the shots really ramped up in the period, 25 combined between the two teams in that second frame. Caps got the lone goal off the stick of Trevor Van Riemsdyk. It was his first goal against the Penguins in his career, even though he had 6 assists in his prior 30 games against them. You heard Borky and Joe Brand talking about his long storied career. He's been around for what seems like just forever in this league. The assists on that went to Dubois and McMichael, which is a hard-working play in front of the net. They just kept chopping at it. Stu Skinner tried to keep the puck out of the net, wasn't able to do so. That happened at 12:22. And as I said, though, it was both goaltenders really had to be solid. I wouldn't say that the chances were, super grade A all across the board, even though there were some quality stops on each side. But it's been a low-event hockey game. Not a whole lot going on in terms of penalties, etc. There was one more power play in this period. Faravari went again, his second penalty of the game for tripping. Penguins not able to capitalize on that. Didn't even muster a shot. They had 2 shots on their first power play in the first period and none on this one. But, came close a couple of times, but Logan Thompson playing a back-to-back game against them was really solid in stopping all 13 shots that he faced. Penguins are now out shooting the Caps for the day 21-20. So we'll see how things go in this third period, if it's going to ramp up. How will these teams react? It could be the final period of Sid versus Ovechkin, Gino and Letang as well. Maybe they want to, kind of let him do something to make a mark, but I know the Penguins aren't going to let their guard down. They still would love to win this hockey game. They have a couple of milestones that they'd like to accomplish, at least just for this year in terms of goal-scoring marks, etc., and it would be fun to do it against their old running mate in Alex Ovechkin. But overall, 1-0 Capitals after 2 periods at Capital One Arena. When we come back, the old 2-9er Phil Bourque, he's going to join me live from Capital One, and we'll discuss this game and a whole lot more, and you'll hear it next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Office is Pittsburgh.
Spun around the board, Sid to Ryan Ross. Tough angle shot. He scores! Rusty Shakes are back, Pittsburgh.
50% off at the Milkshake Factory.
You heard that right, Pittsburgh. Brian Rust here, letting you know that I'm bringing back Pittsburgh's #1 milkshake. Rusty's Shake is a rich chocolate shake with oven-baked brownies, crushed cookies and cream, and hot fudge topped with whipped cream and a chocolate 17. When you hear this, come down to the Milkshake Factory for half-off shakes.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
Penguins trail the Caps 1-0 after 2 periods of play in D.C. Brian Metzer here with you, and now joined by the old 2-9er Phil Bourque. Borky, my question for you is this. With this being a 1-0 game, you've got to go back 17 games to find one that had less than 4 combined goals, and that was on May 1st of 21. The Penguins won that one 3-0. Any surprise at the lack of scoring in this one?
No, I just think the importance of the game for the Washington Capitals, they've been pretty stingy defensively.
Yeah.
And the Penguins, this I don't want to say meaningless game. There is always meaning to the game when you're playing in the National Hockey League. You're trying to, end a team's dream, end their season by winning this hockey game in regulation. So, with all that being said, you have moments like this, you have games like this. But I will say this also, Mets. I mentioned either to you or to Joe the other day that the Penguins have only won one game by the exact score of 3-2. That was back in Vancouver. They have not won a game this year by the exact score of 2-1 or 1-0. Now, obviously, they can't win 1-0, but they can win 2-1 here in regulation and end the Washington Capitals season. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the Penguins to finally win a game this season by the exact score of 2-1. I think their goaltender, Stuart Skinner, is so dialed in here in this game that he's giving them that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Stu. I feel like he's really kind of embracing maybe being the guy. He has been that over the last couple of weeks, and it looks like he will be that moving forward. What are you seeing from his game overall? And I know there's still a goal or two here or there that people raise an eyebrow about, but I think he's looked pretty solid.
He has. And go back to the game against the Devils. He was really dialed in that game, right?
Yes.
He's up 19 of 21, and he's looking to win. He hasn't won back-to-back games in a while. You have to go all the way back to the middle of January to the end of January. Remember when he was on that heater and he won 5 straight? Since he's won 5 straight, he's 4-4-5, and now he's looking to win. Since winning 5 straight, for the first time, win back-to-back games. So he's looking to get that traction, and if Sheeloff is going to play the game Tuesday in St. Louis, which we expect he will. This would be, and he knows it. You can tell the way he's playing here this afternoon that this is my last little time to feel good about my game. Hopefully get a W, hopefully win back-to-back games, and be that guy that gets the net for game number 1 in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
And Borky, when you look at the Metro, how fun has it been, I guess, just to watch it really coming down to the wire without really knowing who is going to lock into that final spot? I think the league has to love this kind of thing. They wanted a little parity mixed in, and you kind of got it. It makes the end of the season exciting, and they also bake in a lot of those divisional matchups in the second half of the season.
No, those are all great points by you. And, we were talking earlier today, a few of us, about, well, isn't it nice that we can just kind of enjoy this now, right, Mets?
Yep.
That we don't have our feet into the fire, right?
Yeah.
That we're not the ones doing the old what if this happens and what if that happens. And, you're certainly not exhaling. You're certainly not relaxing. But you can enjoy it a little bit knowing that you've locked up number 2 in the Metro. You've locked up home ice in the first round at least. And now you can just try to button things up, try to stay healthy, try to get rested, try to work out any little kinks or line combinations, D combination, whatever it is, goaltender, just feeling good about your game, feel about your game individually, feel about the team game going into the postseason. It's nice to have not too long, right? Just a couple games here down the stretch to do all those things before game number 1.
Yeah, just evaluate, catch your breath a little bit, and enjoy the ride because it gets crazy just a week from now. And like you said, just a couple years ago, they were watching the clock all the way to the end before they missed the playoffs. Borky, thanks for this, my friend. We'll do it on Tuesday one last time in the regular season.
Sounds good. Talk to you from St. Lou.
Yes, that is Phil Bork, and he and I will do this again for you one more time to cap the regular season before we move into the postseason for the first time in 4 years. When we come back, news from around the league on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
As the official professional products partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Kimberly-Clark Professionals deliver trusted brands like Scott, Kleenex, and Wipe-All to deliver game-ready hygiene solutions that keep facilities clean, efficient, and prepared for action. Learn more at kcprofessional.com.
Want to rack up some points? Join number 1 Cochrane Club 1 Rewards and turn your vehicle into a scoring machine. You'll earn points with every dollar spent on service and can redeem points for dollars off a new vehicle or future service. Plus, save on gas and rental cars with our valuable partner perks. Score your free membership now at club1rewards.cochrane.com. Number 1 Cochrane, official auto group of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Paul Steigerwald. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals over the years. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. They develop solutions that preserve natural resources with the goal to protect and beautify our world. PPG Paints Arena is proud to be the first LEED Gold certified NHL arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win. The Pittsburgh Penguins and Mitsubishi Electric have teamed up to transform the game day experience with the new state-of-the-art Diamond Vision video display system. See this display in action and find out why they are known as the makers of amazing by visiting MitsubishiElectric.com today.
This segment of the Penguins Live Intermission Report is brought to you by Smith's Hot Dogs, proud sponsor of the Penguins and official hot dogs at PPG Paints Arena.
Penguins trailing the Washington Capitals 1-0 after 2. Brian Metzer back here with you, taking a look around the league, and the scoreboard today is going to be interesting because the Caps, they're holding on to this 1-0 lead right now. If they were to win this hockey game, that would put them at 93 points, just one behind the Philadelphia Flyers, who are into that the third slot in the Metropolitan Division. However, The Islanders will play against the Montreal Canadiens at 6 p.m. The Blue Jackets at home against the Bruins at 6 p.m. as well. And those two games are going to be monumental because they could really impact everything for the race. Ted Starkey, who joined me back in the first intermission, he put the tweet out earlier saying the wildest possible Metro scenario is Washington and Columbus would win today. Philly would maybe lose in regulation tomorrow in their game. Then the Flyers and Jackets would have 94 points to the Caps 93 heading into play on Tuesday. Then you'd be looking at if Columbus would win, they would be in. If Washington would win, and then Philly would need a regulation win over Montreal. Otherwise, if they didn't get that, the Caps would find their way in. So far, they're taking care of their business. They're going to be looking at everybody else to kind of see if they hold up their end of the bargain to set up a Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang versus Alex Ovechkin in the first round of the playoffs. However, when that's all said and done, it might just stay like it is, and the Philadelphia Flyers would lock it in. We shall see. When we come back, third period action from D.C. Joe and Phil have it for you next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
'Cause I'm in New York.
I'm Billy Joel. Back again for a limited engagement because you asked for it.
Celebrating the 50th anniversary of Billy's Turnstiles album with exclusive specials. Plus, new shows with special guest hosts.
Hey, I'm Pat Monahan from the band Train.
This is Gavin DeGraw. Hey, I'm Matt Nathanson on the Billy Joel channel.
Channel 105 and on the Sirius XM app. Just search Billy Joel.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Real Madrid do what they do best. A five-star show from Manchester City. What a start for Inter.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
We deliver the NHL.
With Brandon Busty of the Carolina Hurricanes, did it ever cross your mind saying like, hey, it's going to be a tough journey to the NHL? And, your mentality was, you know what, I'm just going to trust the process.
In hockey, opportunity comes in very different ways and at different times. My opportunity came now. The team in front of me has been unbelievable. They're the main reason for my success. It's fun to be a part of.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Everything is better on ice.
Goes his way in. Provorov cuts in. Let's go!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Heading into the third period here in D.C., and the Penguins trailing Washington by a goal. The Capitals' playoff lives are on the hinge right now. They need to win, and they need help. 3 points behind the Philadelphia Flyers for the last spot of the Metro. They're also competing with the New York Islanders and the Columbus Blue Jackets. And right now, they're looking for their second straight win against the Penguins in back-to-back days. Much different lineup for the Penguins today as all the big boys are here today for Alex Ovechkin's potentially last game in this arena, or even ever. But Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Brian Rust, Erik Karlsson, and many more have been denied and robbed by Logan Thompson today, who's had a very good game in net for the Caps, but so is Stuart Skinner for the Pens.
Agreed. And, the Caps record when leading after 40 minutes is 31-2. Okay, that's very good. No big surprise. Here's what I want to talk about. The Penguins record when trailing after two periods is 3-18-3. Now, if you're going to win games in the postseason, these are the kind of games you have to win. You're only down by one goal. So whether it's regulation and you win the game 2-1, example, you finish the season for the Washington Capitals. no matter how they win it, I'd like to see the Penguins come and win this game somehow, some way. If it's bonus hockey, if it's a 15-round shootout, I don't care. I want to see the Penguins show me the ability to come back in games like this and get the dub.
You're here. Third period is underway. Opening face-off to begin. It's brought to you by number 1 Cochrane Club One Rewards. The Penguins now attacking from left to right in their road white sweaters with Stuart Skinner in net. Washington Capitals attacking from right to left in their home red sweaters. Fight for the puck in the Capitals end. Washington comes away with it. Connor McMichael up ice near side of the neutral zone. Curls around at the point in the Penguins zone. Keeps it alive for Washington. Pierre-Luc Dubois, far point. Rims it along the boards, and behind the net, it's scooped up by Ryan Leonard. He had 2 goals yesterday in Pittsburgh. Now turns around and fires a shot that Stuart Skinner reads and gloves. Keep it 1-0 Washington. 19-13 to go in this game.
And to the risk of repeating myself, I mentioned the second period, Dan Muse's words. I want to see somebody raise their hand. I want to see somebody show me something that maybe has just been called up, maybe hasn't been in the lineup for a while, is now in the lineup. And he acknowledged that I'm giving guys opportunity here in these last couple games to maybe get themselves up the ladder as far as who's in that lineup in game number 1 come playoff time.
Ben Kindle, Anthony Mantha, Nola Chari, Ryan Shea, Connor Clifton, all unavailable today. Penguins had a hefty amount of players sitting out in yesterday's game, and then there's still one left in St. Louis. Again, the Blues have already been eliminated. That could be another opportunity for more guys to get opportunities.
By the way, Tom Wilson is back on the ice for the Caps.
Blocked the shot against Erik Karlsson during the power play that the Penguins did not score. Here's Alexi Protas blasting into the Penguin zone. Got tied up on the far side, though. Puck worked along the wall as Wilson digs after it. Rickard Rakell has it pinned along the far boards right now. Well, he goes down to his knees at the far wall. It's dragged out by the Caps' Protas. Now Skinner sweeps it off the end boards. Solovyov trying to work it around Rakell. Got taken down to the ice again. Kicked out to Tommy Novak, far side. He'll muscle it up, but not out. Van Riemsdyk keeps it alive, far point. He finds Chychrun near circle, and he collides with Jack St. Ivany as it's Malkin over the Capitals line, dancing through, takes it to the far side, curls around at the point, down to Koivunen, on the doorstep, couldn't tuck one home. They tried to go backhand to forehand and sneak one past Logan Thompson. The Capitals now send it down to the Penguins' end. As Parker Wotherspoon sweeps it out of harm's way from Anthony Beauvillier, a couple of former New York Islanders there. And now Liljegren takes it over the Penguin line to the near circle towards the net. Skinner trying to poke it out of the way. To the far corner, it goes to Sordiff in the Penguin zone. Down to the corner. Swung around the boards to the near side. Beauvillier picks it off the wall. At the point, he swings it deep. Wotherspoon cuts it off far corner. Got smashed into the boards by Sordiff. Brazeau hunting after the puck against the Capitals player. Now it's lost to Beauvillier in the slot. He got picked away from Kevin Hayes. Caps stood with it. Sling it up to the high slot, but it missed Liljegren all the way down to the Capitals zone it goes. 3 minutes gone in this third period. 1-0 the Capitals lead the Penguins. Trevor Van Riemsdyk the only goal. It happened back in the second. Final game between these two teams in the regular season. Washington trying to play their way into the playoffs. They would face the Penguins in the first round. Joona Koppanen over to Rutger McGroarty. Over the Capitals line. Down to the near corner. Koppanen swings it to the far side for Soderblom. Jumped off his stick. Matt Roy takes it for Washington. Forks it up into the neutral zone as it's chased down by Sam Girard. Girard curling away from McMichael, sends it up ahead to McGroarty, tap back pass to Letang. He'll take it over the Capitals line, darting towards the far circle, curls around at the hash marks, leaves it Solovyov. One-timer didn't get through traffic. Rebound to the far corner, McGroarty, Solovyov, one-timer, that goes wide. Over to the near half wall, Letang trying to keep it away from Wilson. He'll send it deep, swings it over to the far boards. With Brian Russ racing off the bench, he got it to Soderblom. Cuts through to the slot, he fires, and it's scooped up by Logan Thompson. As Soderblom was a little bit limited with his shot opportunity there, but still got it towards the net. It stays 1-0 Washington, though.
Once again, I'm so impressed with Elmer Soderblom's game. We're just watching this guy, pun intended, bloom. He's just getting so much confidence with the puck on his stick, knowing how to use his edges, get a wide base, use that big frame, right? 6'9", use that frame to fend off the opponent while hanging on to pucks. And once he does get himself a little bit of space and separation, he's made some really good decisions with the puck on his stick.
Again, 3 goals and 4 assists since coming over to the Penguins, and less games than he had with the Detroit Red Wings, who were eliminated from the postseason yesterday, as this will be icing by the Capitals. But to the fans' dismay, Brandon Duhaime gave it a good hustling effort, but the officials still say icing.
I'll give you a chance to talk about EQT, because when America needs a power play, EQT delivers. Fueling freedom, strengthening allies, and unleashing U.S. LNG, liquid natural gas, from right here in the Berg. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
That's the old 2-9er Phil Bourque. I'm Joe Brand. We're here in Washington, D.C. Penguins trailing the Washington Capitals 1-0. 4 minutes gone in this third. As Crosby wins the draw, here's a one-timer. Carlson pinballed around. Crosby takes it in behind the net, brings it up far side. One-timer from Chinakhov, and his stick exploded on him. Capitals take it up ice. Chinakhov takes a stick from the bench on his way into the zone, but they go to Duhaime. He got tied up by Parker Wotherspoon. Kicked over to the far corner. Carlson will peel it off the boards. Now snap a pass ahead to Brian Rust. He's over the Capitals line to Chinakhov. One-timer saved by Logan Thompson. Rust up to the near point for Wotherspoon. Shovels it down in behind the net for Rust. Muscled away, it's Crosby. Curling to the front of the net. Backhand centering pass. It goes right to Chikrin. Washington takes it up ice the other way. Stretch pass ahead looking for Beauvillier. He gets past Wotherspoon, but it's too late along the end boards as Wotherspoon sends a hard shoulder into Beauvillier along the end wall. Now those two get tied up in the far corner. It's taken out by Igor Chinakhov. Evgeny Malkin in behind Skinner's net. Dancing around Anthony Beauvillier. Malkin catches a feed from Carlson, skates over the Capitals logo, now over their line. In the high slot, he lost it. Beauvillier hit the ice. Now Malkin, down to his knees, was able to get a pass over to Solovyov as Ricard Raquel digs it deep into the Capital zone. Way to the far corner, now up to Dylan Strome. Under 15 to play in this hockey game. Penguins down by 1. Leonard in the Penguin zone, puckered away by Stuart Skinner on a wrister from the high slot. Ricard Raquel shovels it back over to Solovyov, far side. He'll skate it up ice, goes rink wide to Jack St. Ivany. Over the Capitals line, near side he takes it, down to the corner. Slammed into the boards by Faravari, but still keeps the puck in front of him. Trying to keep it away from Faravari as he works it along the boards. He's outnumbered by a couple of red sweaters. Washington now finally works it up, and Novak stole it away. Got it to Brazeau, far circle. Tried to shovel it deep. Liljegren cut it off. McMichael's got it. Skates it up ice into the Penguin zone. Backhanded lead pass looking for Leonard out of his reach. He'll kick it off the end boards. Get it to McMichael in behind the Penguin net. Now worked over to the far circle. Roy plays it off the boards, down to the corner. Works it up to the point for McMichael. Wrister blocked by Justin Brazeau. Rebound out to the neutral zone as Hudson will race it down. Fling it over to Roy, and the Penguins get a change. 13:40 to go in this game. Ville Koivunen steals the puck. Capital zone. Letang to Koivunen, poked away by Hudson. Koivunen again from the far corner. Tried to set up Kevin Hayes, but he sticks it up to the far point for Girard, who dashes down the blue line. Near half wall, coughed it up. Right onto the stick of Sordiff. He'll take it over the Penguins line. Near side, down to the circle. Stripped off the puck by Chris Letang.
What a play by Chris Letang.
Now rink wide pass to Kevin Hayes. He's in the Capital zone. Pulls up at the half boards. Keeps the puck away from Sordiff. Draws attention to himself to set up Letang far circle. One-timer Girard. It got blocked by Roy. Kicked over to the near wall. Washington gets it down to the corner. It's stolen by Soderblom. Near circle. Twirling around. Fires off the post. Deflected, and it goes out of play. With 7 minutes gone in this third period, it's still 1-0 Washington. The Penguins with 24 shots on goal, but have yet to get one past Logan Thompson. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It's WrestleMania week, and SiriusXM Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7 is getting you ready for the Squared Circle's biggest event.
WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of pro wrestling.
Hear in-depth breakdowns of the matches.
CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, the biggest clash in years.
Join the daily conversation.
There were things that Pat McAfee said in the ring on Friday night that I was completely shocked that he said.
It's WrestleMania week on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, channel 156 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Real Madrid do what they do best. A five-star show from Manchester City. What a start for Inter.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Perfect fit.
Logan Thompson has kept this game 1-0 with 13 minutes to go. Penguins with 23 shots on the Washington Capitals. Goaltender Stuart Skinner has made 21 saves today. And Trevor Van Riemsdyk with the only goal. That's the difference in this one.
The win yesterday for Logan Thompson, his 30th. And his numbers are, man, they're really good. They're almost, worthy of Vezina conversation as far as 9-10 save percentage, 248 goals against average, and 30 wins. What a year for Logan Thompson.
Second straight year with 30 wins. He had 31 last season, which was a career high, so he's trying to match that right here today. A 3-game win streak for Thompson and has won 4 out of his last 5. Penguins dump it down to the Capitals zone near corner, but Washington works it out to Van Riemsdyk, the game's only goal scorer. Far side of the neutral zone, chips it down to the far corner. Taken by Washington, swung to Dubois at the near side, works it up the wall. Crosby peeled it out, couldn't find it to Chinikov though. Out to the neutral zone it goes as Van Riemsdyk slings it down to the Penguins end. Pulled off the wall by Erik Karlsson. 12:20 to go in this game. Penguins down by 1. Karlsson taking his time with it right now as the Penguins get a change. Novak, Raquel, Malkin line out there as a stretch pass looking for Gino. Jumped off his stick at the far point. Washington takes it back in their own zone. Protas digs it out to the neutral zone. Wilson poked it away right on net to Skinner, who will sweep it to Jack St. Ivany. He snatched it and took it in behind his net before Wilson could get there. Now he escapes it over to the far side, feeling some pressure from Protas. Kick back over to the near corner. St. Ivany finds it to Malkin. Curl back into his own zone and send it ahead to the defenseman Ilya Solovyov. Chip down to the far corner. Races after it along the end boards. It was closed off by Liljegren. Worked up the far wall. Novak keeps it alive. Works towards the slot. Far circle at Solovyov. Downstairs Raquel. Long rebound wide of the net. Taken to the near side. Wilson lost his stick. He has to go to the bench to get a new one. As Washington takes it up ice, Alexei Protas will backhand flip it down to the Penguins' end far corner. 1-0 Washington. 11-11 to go in this game. Make a wish. The Penguins stretch it up to Brazeau. Took it over the Capitals line, but Washington quickly kicked it back the other way. This goes down into the Penguins' end. Skinner plays it, works it over to the far side. Strome cut it off at the half wall, brought it in behind the Penguin net. Picked it up along the near wall. Kevin Hayes works it off the boards to the neutral zone, but Anthony Beauvillier snatches it away. Got it to Letang. He turned it back over to Beauvillier. Drags towards the front of the net, crashes towards it, and swimming was Stuart Skinner as Letang kicked it out of the way. Skinner now just getting back up to his feet as the Penguins get it out of their zone. Little give and go with Gerard and Kevin Hayes. Hayes with a saucer pass towards the crease. It goes right to Matt Roy, who will pitch it out to the neutral zone. Now Koivunen over the Capitals line. Stemmed off the puck by Hudson with 10:20 to go in this game. 1-0 Washington.
Shots are dead even too. 23-23.
The last play by Beauvillier looked like he was trying to draw some attention to set up Ovechkin on the far side. All he ended up being able to do with it was crash towards the net as we get the Penguins offside with 10:06 to go in this game. 1-0 Washington.
Want some birthdays?
Let's do it.
Here we go. RNH. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 33. Torrey Krug, 35. Robin Hammerlick, 52. Christoph Oliwa, 53. Kent Manderville, 55. Adam Graves, 58. Thomas Johnson, 66. Paul Woods, Woodsy. Happy retirement, Woodsy, 71. And Dave Hansen, Yes, from the Hanson brothers. Dave Hanson, 72. Happy birthday, boys.
Happy birthday, boys, on 412 Day. Special day in the Pittsburgh community. This is flipped right on net. Logan Thompson will make a glove save above the crossbar. 9:46 to go in the game, and the Penguins still down by 1. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanging.
Kimberly Clark Professional is proud to be a champion sustainability partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Together, they are driving change to help reduce impact through a commitment to sustainable products and services. Learn more at kcprofessional.com/sustainability.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
The fabulous trio, Evgeny, Sydney, Chris. I'm excited for these guys. They're going to do it, Phil. They can do it.
You know what? We're under the radar. Whether you're talking about Schultz Forward or you're talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins, we've gone through cycles. We've gone through ups and downs where people say they're not going to do it. They're over the hill or whatever.
You know what they say?
Hockey!
What Richard and Phil are really trying to say is, there's a Ford in your future. Choose from over 1,500 vehicles, lock in our $500 best price guarantee, and find us at any of our 4 Schultz Ford locations, where great deals are always nearby.
Penguins Hockey is brought to you in part by Kent State University, transforming dreams into achievements.
Still 1-0 Washington. 9:46 to go in this one from Capital One Arena in D.C. The first and only visit for the Penguins in this building here during the regular season, as Washington is trying to fight their way into the playoffs and get a first-round date with the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Face-off to the right of Logan Thompson, who has made 23 saves today. And this puck gets deflected out of play after the face-off. 9:41 to go in the contest.
Well, the Washington Capitals are playing like they're playing for their season. They're playing pretty stingy, pretty structured. You know, a lot of times when these two teams get together, they come in with that mindset, but then the barn doors get opened up and the ponies start running, and it gets wide open. Not this one here. It's been pretty... Look out.
Numbers for the Capitals, far circle, and a shot got poked away by Parker Wotherspoon.
How many times have you said that here this afternoon? Big play by Wotherspoon. Broke that up by Wotherspoon. He's been real solid.
It's always good positioning as there's a shot towards the net. Skinner fought it off. Botus in behind the net, slings it up to the far point for Van Riemsdyk. D to Chychrun above the near circle. Blast one, pad save Skinner, long rebound. Protas sends it off the near post. Capitals still with it in the Penguin zone as Malkin picked the pocket of Jacob Chychrun, brings it into the Capitals zone, but he's well offside as a pass went over to Ricard Raquel. 9 minutes to go in the game. 1-0 Washington, and the Penguins are lucky. It's still a 1-goal deficit.
I agree. If you're looking for a break, that's it right there. It's a low, hard shot by Chychrun. I don't think he's trying to score here. He realizes that Protas is going to the net. He's tied up by Erik Karlsson. Karlsson's standing right next to Protas. He doesn't take the stick. He's standing next to him right in front of the goal. That hard slap shot comes off the left pad of Skinner, comes right out to Protas. He has a wide, and I mean wide open net, and puts it off the side of the net before Skinner could recover or Karlsson could recover to take Protas.
Ovi chants start to ring through Capital One Arena once again here in D.C. He took the opening face-off against Sidney Crosby in what could be his last game in this building, but right now his team fighting for at least 2 more. Down to the near corner, the Capitals zone. Kevin Hayes thrown off the puck by Martin Farivari. Elmer Soderblom gets his big body in there and keeps the puck pinned along the end boards. Still tied up along the wall. Liljegren and Farivari going after it on each side. Now it's over to the far corner, poked up into the air. St. Ivany takes it away along the goal line. Shovels it in behind the net to Hayes. We'll bring it over to the far side, up to the circle, to St. Ivany. A little awkward, but Solovyov sends a one-timer wide of the net, pinballed all the way to the far side, and the diving Alex Ovechkin will kick the puck out to the neutral zone. Penguins recollect and will get a line change with under 8 minutes to go in this game. Still 1-0 Washington.
Ovi had to dive after that puck because he had nothing left in the tank. He couldn't move out there.
One last gasp. He got it past the Capitals' blue line. The Penguins are back in the cap zone, near corner. Chinakhov lost it. It's taken by Roy. He'll sweep it up to McMichael, who scurries it out to the neutral zone, chips it off the far wall into the Penguins' end, trying to work past Girard as he swings it over to the near corner. Pierre-Luc Dubois up the wall, lost it to Chinakhov. He'll get it to Girard. Penguins skating it the other way. Dumped into the Capitals zone from the far corner to the near one. Gets angled out to the circle. Dubois over to McMichael. Tang cut off the pass, but the Capitals still sling it down to the Penguins' end. That'll be icing by Washington with 7:10 to go in this game. Still 1-0 Caps.
Keeping a little eye on what's going on in Augusta, Georgia, as the Masters is starting to come down to the final stretch. And the guy trying to go back-to-back, Rory McIlroy, is the leader right now by 2 strokes.
What could go wrong?
He does have 6 holes to go, in case you're curious.
Is there any better time in the world of sports than right now?
And how about them Buccos? Another win by the Buccos. They lead the NL Central.
They did end up losing today.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't you tell me they were up?
They were up 5-0.
5-0?
Cubs walked it off 7-6.
Oh, goodness.
But they took 2 out of 3 at Wrigley. Still up at the top of the NL Central. Real good start for the Buccos. Here's Raquel in the slot. Fired, and another save by Logan Thompson. He's been perfect today. 24 saves to keep it 1-0 Washington. 7 minutes to go in the game.
Not taking anything away from Logan Thompson, but that was shot right into the crest. Really good pass there by Tommy Novak to Rickard Raquel. And Raquel threw it right into the chest protector. He's coming right down Massachusetts Avenue and puts it right into the belly pad. And that's one of those moments here for Raquel, trying to get it off the stick quick to surprise the goaltender, but didn't get all of it, nor did he pick the spot he really wanted.
Raquel getting a lot of playing time at center these last couple of days with Evgeny Malkin moved over to the wing 2 games ago. He had 8 shots on goal. And now Raquel, after having that lengthy point streak, hasn't had a point in his last 3 games when you include today. As this one's turned over and taken by Malkin. He'll take it the other way. It's Wotherspoon through the neutral zone. Back to Malkin. Capital zone. Slows down at the circle. He found it to Novak. Now it's Raquel downstairs, rather at the near circle. Pitched up to Erik Karlsson. Karlsson to the far circle. Down to the corner. Cutting through. Looking towards the net. Swept out. Raquel a chance. That's kicked wide. Novak's got it. Far circle. And another attempt goes wide. Tough angle shot from Karlsson. Stuffed out by Thompson. Karlsson's got it again. Will work it up the near wall. Stops on a dime, but it's stripped by Tom Wilson. Off to the races in the Penguin zone. Wotherspoon will cut it off once again. It turned into a 2-on-1 for the Capitals as Wilson, not the fleetest of foot right there. Now pushed up the other way by the Penguins. It's Kevin Hayes over the Capitals line. One arms it down to the near corner. Liljegren plays it off the boards, then gets slammed into the wall by Kevin Hayes. Worked up the near wall by St. Ivany. D to Solovyov. Wrister to the far circle for Brazeau. Backhanded shot didn't get past Soderblom. Back up to Brazeau. Far half wall in the circle. Wrister didn't get through. It was blocked by Liljegren. Throws a hard shoulder into the Capitals player. Takes the puck to the near corner and flips it up to the point for St. Ivany. Wrister wide of the net. Played off the end boards by Kevin Hayes. Curls around in the circle. Over to the slot now. He'll turn around, fire a shot. Deflected just wide. Tumbled over to the near corner. Solovyov tries to keep it away from the Caps. Long shift by the Penguins here in Washington zone. It's Soderblom, far corner. Got it to Brazeau. Will work it up the far wing. Up to the point for St. Ivany. Solovyov near corner. Down to Crosby. Near circle. Cuts around at the corner. Down to the goal line. In behind the Capital net. Far side. Curls around the far circle now. Now to the high slot. Still on the stick of Sid. The far circle for Brian Rust. In behind the net. Kicked over to the near side. Left for Rust. Russ curls around that near circle. What a tired bunch out there for the Caps. Down to the corner for Crosby. Up to Jack St. Ivany. Rister got blocked. Loose in the crease. Soderblom whipped on a backhanded centering pass, and Washington clears it down.
Unfortunately for the Caps, it's going to be icing, and they are gassed. Penguins are buzzing like bees around a hive right now. They need to seize this moment. They've got the Caps. Absolutely, every single Caps player is leaning on their shin guards right now. They have nothing left in the tank here. They need a face-off win, and they just need to get pucks into the blue paint. This 5-man group here for the Caps is out of gas.
1-0 Washington leads with 4:32 to go. We're in Big Mac attack territory. Sidney Crosby wins the draw. Chris Letang couldn't keep it alive at the far point. Washington can exchange a few bodies. Chinakhov back over the Capitals line. Girard in the slot. Leaves it for Letang above the near circle. Back up to Chinakhov. Wrister wide of the net. Long rebound. McMichael takes it. Here comes Washington. They could have numbers. A 2-on-1 in the Penguin zone. And McMichael in the crease. Backhand, he scores. After all the pressure from the Penguins in the Capitol zone, it gets turned over to Washington. They skate up ice, a 2-on-1 with Connor McMichael and Ryan Leonard. And Connor McMichael sneaks a backhander through the legs of Stuart Skinner. It's 2-0 Washington, 4:10 to go in this game.
It's a game of mistakes. It's a game of little decisions. And Igor Chinakhov, as good as he's been all year, he misses the net with the shot. It hits the end wall, comes right out to the Caps. You have Girard and Letang both sniffing. They know the Caps. They got a couple players off, but they still have a tired group. They're in there looking for something around the net. Because the Chinakhov shot missed the net, it came right to the Caps, and boom, they get going on that 2-on-1. Chinakhov is back as a defenseman. He does not play this 2-on-1 very good at all. And it is right onto the stick of Connor McMichael. He goes forehand, backhand, 5-hole on Stuart Skinner. What a huge moment this is in that game. A big goal for the Caps that makes it 2-0.
Less than 4 minutes to go now as the Capitals flip a lazy fly ball right to Stuart Skinner, and he makes the glove save. It's 2-0 Washington, 3:54 to go from our nation's capital. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Every story, every angle, all in one place. From breaking news to in-depth reporting to the voices shaping the conversation, the SiriusXM news channels keep you informed. From national headlines to business news to international stories impacting the world. All your news in one place, including Fox News Channel, CNN, MS Now, Fox Business, CNBC, Fox News Headlines 24/7, and more. Beginning at Channel 112 and on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Real Madrid do what they do best. A 5-star show from Manchester City. What a start for Inter.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The Penguins now down by 2 goals. They had been peppering Logan Thompson's net. A very long, sustained pressure from the Penguins as the Capitals were absolutely gassed in their own end. But after getting a couple of fresh bodies and a Penguins turnover, turned into a 2-on-1 breakaway for the Caps, and now a 2-0 lead.
I think 2 mistakes made there. You think about that face-off. Sid wins it clean back to Chris Letang. He's not ready for it. It goes between his legs, out of the zone, they get 2 fresh bodies on the ice. And McMichael might have been one of those bodies that came out. He had a lot in the tank there. And then that, obviously, the shot by Chinakhov that misses the net. Penguins have 24 shots on goal. They have 25 missed shots. 25 times they've missed the net on Logan Thompson. They've done a lot of good things here. But again, the details are really not in the Penguins' game here this afternoon.
3:45 to go in this one with the Penguins down by 2. And if the Penguins do score, you win a free Big Mac. Offer is valid.
Watch for Stuart Skinner.
And there he goes. So the Penguins with the empty net right now, looking for the Big Mac attack. And Alex Ovechkin goes for the empty net, but the puck will tumble wide. And that'll be icing by Washington. Offer is valid 3 days after the Penguins score on the Big Mac attack. Just download your McDonald's app and claim your free Big Mac with a purchase of $1 or more.
Well, we've seen this from Dan Muse. He's not afraid at all to pull his goaltender early, especially down 2 goals.
Basically the top power play unit out there for the Penguins, along with Igor Chinakhov. Down by 2. Carlson sends a wrister. It's blocked by Dubois. Protas trying to muscle it away. Couldn't. Only got it to the neutral zone. Penguins take it back. Chinakhov over the Capitals line. Near side. Down to the corner. And behind the net. Centering pass. Missed everyone. Carlson, a blast, didn't get through. Raquel trying to get it to Rust. Roy works it over to the far corner, and he gets slammed into the boards by Rust. But it's worked along the far wall. Out to the neutral zone it goes. Chinakhov will race it down. Under 3 to play in this game. Penguins down by 2. It's dumped into the Capitals zone near corner. Worked along the near wall. Ovechkin's got it. He'll slide it over to McMichael, looking for the empty net. He's got a clear path, and he'll score. Second goal of the game for Connor McMichael, and it's an empty netter to make it 3-0 Washington with 2:44 to go.
You know, the Penguins dump the puck in, but they don't dump it in with a purpose to get it. They just dumped it in to get it into Washington's zone. Again, details, tiny little details in the Penguins game. Lacking a little bit. And because they dumped it into a corner where there was no Penguin, first to the puck with the Caps, they get it up to Ovechkin, and he just waits half a second to get separation on Erik Karlsson. Sends it to McMichael, and Connor McMichael for the last 2 goals for the Washington Capitals. It's now 3-0.
Again, the Washington Capitals down by 3 points for that 3rd place spot in the Metro. Behind the Philadelphia Flyers. Philly does not play today.
But they play tomorrow.
They do. So 2 points for the Capitals would keep them alive for another day unless Philly takes care of business tomorrow.
Then it's all over.
This is worked out to the neutral zone. Ilya Solovyov will chase it down.
Philly plays Carolina tomorrow, and then they play Montreal in a back-to-back. Their last 2 games, Carolina, Montreal, Monday, Tuesday, at home.
Then the Capitals will finish their season Tuesday in Columbus. And they're 2 minutes away, guaranteeing another game for Alex Ovechkin and possibly his final year of his career. Capitals also looking to take the season series from the Penguins. Back-to-back games with wins as this one goes out of play. And that's the only time the Penguins have found the back of the net right now. Logan Thompson just flinging his stick at the puck that bounced off the netting. It went in the Washington net. Obviously a 3-0 lead for the Capitals right now. 1:37 to go.
Well, obviously it wasn't the big dogs here for the Washington Capitals. Trevor Van Riemsdyk gets that all-important first goal for the Caps, and then Connor McMichael with the last 2.
Penguins win the face-off. Soderblom will flip it down to the corner. McGroarty playing it off the end boards as Kopanen works it over to the corner. Now Washington clears it down. And if you can't hear the Caps fans, they're chanting 1 more year. Elmer Soderblom takes it into the Capitals zone near corner, flipped it out to Solovyov, jumped off his stick. Tom Wilson hunts it down, crashes into the boards. Dylan Strome will take it into the Penguins end, and he got closed off by Soderblom. And now Soderblom having to answer Tom Wilson and a couple other Capitals giving him a few shoves.
I don't know what they're upset about is he's trying to throw a clean body check on Strome. And Strome sees him coming, sees Soderblom coming, and spins off with a check. It wasn't even a check. He kind of misses it because Strome did a 360 and spun away. Tom Wilson gets up and wants a piece of Soderblom. I don't even know if we're going to get penalties here.
One of the officials holding Tom Wilson right now, who's finally lunging over into the Washington bench. Less than a minute to go. Penguins trailing Washington 3-0. Alex Ovechkin does take the ice. I'm sure his teammates trying to set him up with one more goal here at home for the home fans in Washington. Ryan Russ gets tied up in the near corner. Matt Roy flips it over to the far side. Solovyov cuts in front of Ovechkin for the puck. Chinakov's got it, far point. St. Ivan, he cranks one. That got deflected. Kicked out to the neutral zone. Duhaime with it. He's got Ovechkin to his right, but Solovyov poked the puck out of the way. 25 seconds to go in this one. And the Washington Capitals still have life. They pick up back-to-back wins over the Pittsburgh Penguins. And then possibly Alex Ovechkin's final game in this building. The Capitals live to fight another day. They get within 1 point of the Philadelphia Flyers as they're hunting for a playoff visit against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Then the penultimate game of the season, Washington shuts out the Penguins 3-0.
It's a good hockey game. It was a fun game to watch. I thought the Penguins did a lot of